I will turn the volume down as necessary, as I'm kind of using the laptop as a back stand for the phone, because I got to use my broken phone. Yeah, it's been a busy morning. I got a live one on the Facebook, and apparently a libertarian by the name of Sam or some stupid fucking name. He's got like, I'll give you an example of his profile picture. Give me a second. And it's his profile picture. But apparently in a libertarian debate, there was posts about the guy who was just killed by ICE, Pretty. And I got a little heated about it, admittedly. And this libertarian posted a laughing emoji to it. So I roasted his ass accordingly. And this is what happened. He showed me how not psycho he is by posting on my page like 60 plus times on Facebook. Tried to get Gemini to take a screenshot of it for me. And Gemini proceeded to do this to my phone. Don't fret, I've done this game before. Basically, since I can't take the battery out of it, because they don't make them that way anymore, I basically just gotta let it die completely, charge back up completely, turn it back on, and that'll reset the system UI. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep doing this. Till then, I get a free flashlight. Isn't technology wonderful? Now, that was a little bit of my complaining. Let me adjust the volume just a little bit on the song if I can without messing with the phone. Because y'all are kind of sitting right on the laptop speaker, so I'm hoping the reverb ain't too bad, but the music helps keep my brain from going to sort of thing. Now, the book is simple. Steal This Book by Abbie Hoffman. And I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but like I said, I still don't quite know how to do the whole booktube thing, because it's like, I don't want to be accused of stealing people's work. I'm not. I did not write this book. This is a book by someone else, a good man who killed himself after a long life of working at like hell to try to get people to do better. I see a lot of myself in Abbie. He's, if you're familiar with the trial of the Chicago 7, if you're not, feel free to check it out. Come on up here then, baby. If you're familiar with the trial of the Chicago 7, I saw the heart, thank you for the heart. But, hello, Monica Zula C563. But I'm very familiar with Abbie's work when it came to the trial of the Chicago 7, because he was a comedian. He went to a anti-Vietnam War protest, watched a boy almost get killed because somebody cracked the kid's skull open, and could not just stand by, so he started to fight. This was not recent, this was anti-Vietnam protests, but the trial happened, and they put on a Black Panther. I do not remember the man's name, and I should, but it was a big thing. You can check out the show on Netflix, and the history moments really are deafening compared to today, because back then it was considered just unbelievable. They fired on American citizens? That's insane. Now ICE kneeled a man on his knees in front of everyone and executed him like we're playing the freaking Hunger Games. Oh, stay tuned, because, you know, during America's birthday, we're going to have actual fights going on the White House lawn, apparently, and shit, you know? But watching that got me interested in Abbie and all the work that he does. And yes, this is Martina. She's my co-host and a very sweet kitten. She's also very cold, too, I'm guessing. It's currently 12 degrees. Started at 17 when I woke up on the phone before the phone broke. But 12 degrees here in New Harley, Georgia. We're in the South, folks. I'm literally less than 4 hours from Florida. I think 6 if you follow the speed limit laws and do things correctly. But yeah, it's 12 here. I would have posted pictures, but for some reason my system UI software is not cooperating. We can have pictures or we can have audio. We don't get to have both. So, oh well. Now, I am going to do some crocheting too as soon as the little one gets off my arm, and I'm able to, until she decides it's time for me to do that. This is Abbie Hoffman, 1936 to 1989. was an American activist and a revolutionary political organizer in the civil rights and anti-war movements who co-founded the Youth International Party, the Yippies. He was arrested and tried for his roles in the protests that were confronted violently by police during the 1968 Democratic National Convention, and began to write Steal This Book in jail, while awaiting what became known as the trial of the Chicago 7. Hoffman continued his activism through the 1980s and remains an icon of countercultural movements today. I like Hoffman. A lot of people did not, including the people that were at the trial of the Chicago 7. He was an intricate. What's that now? Oh, what side I'm on? Oh, that's simple. I'm on the side of the right. Well, not the right. I'm on the side of the true Americans. I'm on the side of us. I don't believe in Trump. I think the Democrats are going to get us killed, and I think it's time for the people to rise up. Maybe not violently, but for us. Between the two, I would choose libertarian, but I'm an anarchist. I am not an authoritarian because... Is anyone else having fun right now? This is authoritarianism, y'all. Is anyone else enjoying their... No. Is anyone else enjoying their time in America right now? Because this is what an authoritarian government is like. I had a thing worked out, but again, as I said, the chud on the internet decided to break the phone, messaging my Facebook page about 500,000 times. Oh, you're having fun? Cool. Tell me how terrible a person you are, Blinkquet. Please? Because if you're having fun in America, that tells me you're a terrible goddamn person. But that was Abbie. A good man. Be like Abbie. But as we go into this... What's that? Yeah, whatever, Jeremy. Tell me more about how you fuck your cousin. Now, Abbie was a great guy. But as we go into this book, we need to be careful on what Abbie suggests we do, because we need to remember, this is from those golden years of yore, back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 80s. So, very different time period. Back then, you could carry about anything onto an airplane. Back then, you could travel by just, hitting gas stations after they closed and draining the gas out the tanks, because back then, gas stayed in the tanks. Almost none of this is going to be up to date. Almost none of this is going to be like valuable, usable data. This is more a look back into time. What's that? No, they aren't. Pretty was a veteran. He helped veterans, and he was a nurse. On the day that he was murdered by ICE, he was trying to help up a woman that they threw to the ground. And he was still, the reason he didn't draw his gun and fire at the cunts was because he was trying to help up that woman when they jumped him, maced him, beat him, put him on his knees, and then shot him. Once in the head to drop him, and then unloaded a full clip into him. You're a dumbass motherfucker, aren't you? Oh, law-abiding citizens are dumb bitches might be having fun. Law-abiding citizens are worried. But go on, tell me more how you don't have an IQ higher than a wit. Oh, it looks like they typed a message held for review. Stay spicy, bitch. I don't care. See, that's what I'm saying, Jeremy. You're a piece of shit, friend. At least we all know who you are. Remember Jeremy, everyone. The piece of shit. Now, as I was saying, when it comes to Abbie's book, we need to keep in mind this is from a different time period, and with an America that even when we thought was authoritarian back then, was nothing compared to today. The cops that did this faced charges. The cops that cracked open the college student's head on the campus, they faced charges. The judge who litigated the case, the trial of the Chicago 7, went down in history as one of the worst judges in American history for how bad he got played. And yet, and by played I do mean just that, Abbie actually showed up to court with the rest of the 7 when they realized it was a kangaroo trial, dressed in judge's robes. The judge demanded, this is unprecedented. And then take those off, and Abbie goes, are you sure you want us to, Judge? I'm not wearing anything under mine. Oh, wait, yeah, I am. He made a clown court out of it, made the judge an idiot, and then showed the world how corrupt the judge was. We'll see it soon going on now because, as the news said last I checked, our trade partners have now turned on us. The rest of the world is just watching, realizing how pathetic we are. And the military is torn asunder between two sides. One is feeding the protesters and saying, hey, y'all, look, we're wearing reflective vests. We got our names on our phrase. We're not afraid of you because we're here to help you. And the other half is going, God, I hope the president doesn't make us shoot these innocent people. Aw, thank you, Blue Sky 2000. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe. But yeah, I'm like, y'all, I'm not a well-refined political satirist. If you want well-refined, nice, not gonna slur, not gonna fuck up, check out Hassan Piker, check out Suris, check out the Mermaid, I think is her name. She does political debates all the time. I'm not here to debate. If you come in here with that bullshit about ICE being good and serving, fuck you, fuck your cause, fuck who you came with. I'm not here for that. I don't have the temperament to deal with those fuckers. And they'll take my shit and clip it because, yeah, I look and sound crazy to them. But it's because I'm sticking with the people. I'm working with the people we got. And yeah, I hate the Democratic Party as it is because, oh, we might shut the government down again. Great, awesome. I'm all here for that, but are we actually going to make them do anything this time, or are we going to shut the government down to hold it to the line and make the American people suffer and then just give it back over for a promise? Because they promised they were going to release the Epstein files, and then we had to take them to court about it. And the court said, you need to release the Epstein files. And then they started shooting civilians in the street and invading Venezuela. We're now, 1 minute, check the calendar, 38 days past that date. And we still don't have that Epstein list. And we're still at war with Venezuela. And we're threatening to invade Greenland. So, cellar. Bitch, I'm in a trailer, you dumb hick. This ain't a cellar, and this ain't my mama's basement. I exist by the grit of my fucking teeth and the skin of my knuckles. So again, say something that ain't fucking I've heard 1,000 fucking times. Or shut the fuck up so I can continue. Now, again, for anyone not familiar, I apologize for all the cursing. I've lived a hard life in the sense of I've worked since I was 16. I've never had a vacation or time outside of when I've been in between jobs. And most of the time in between jobs, don't know about y'all knowing about this, but it ain't relaxation. It's a lot of, I need to log my hours, I need to make food, I need to find food, there's a lot to go on there. But, yeah, dude, way to go. Again, yeah, you're a dumb hick because of your opinion, not because of where you live or how you look, dipshit. But, again, not here for y'all. Abbie. Now, again, we'll be skipping around because I don't really want to, hit a copyright clause, and as the idiots in chat might be willing to tell you, Republicans fight dirty any chance they get, because that's all they've got, y'all. Weakness and fighting dirty. Call them out on it, and then move on. So, we'll start with just the entire forward to the 2021 edition while the TKO ad plays. Also, if you get the chance, TXKO is a pretty fun game. It's free, but you gotta buy characters, so in that sense it's free, like Fortnite's free. But if you like, check it out. I'm not gonna rip on them too bad, because I actually kind of enjoy it. It brings back Street Fighter, but different. Forward to the 2021 edition. It was in the early 1980s that Abbie Hoffman spoke at the college, and I signed up to attend his summer community organization program. That program never materialized, but fortunately I still go to school with Abbie. I still got to go to school with Abbie. Sorry, too many GOs there, and I'm reading over and above my glasses. Yeah, whatever, Jeremy, bitch. Keep on chirping, though. You're doing good for my ratings. More people chirp off like you, more people show up to stream. Now, I got to go to school with Abbie. He lived his life by putting his beliefs and values into practice. I think we should all try to do that. I do my best to do it. He didn't just talk the talk, he ran with it. He was lots of things, but to me, he became a funny, insightful, and strategic teacher. Every time I pick up and read one of his books, I'm reminded of what a great writer and storyteller he was, and just how important his life and words are to those of us who dream big. Steal This Book is not just a stroll through the directory of the who, what, where, or the counterculture movement in the 60s, but it's way more than an anti-capitalist manual on how to live free. The proposed title change suggested by Doubleday Publishing, it's Doubleday Publishing, not Double Play Publishing, and I lost my place. Vice President who said he'd sell it if Abbie just changed the title. Over 30 publishers rejected it initially, but after 50 years, it's still going strong. For the record, another fun counterculture movement decided to steal the title, and System of a Down released Steal This Album shortly after, partially as a kind of, cheeky one-off to the law. Because if you were to do what the book's title suggested, would you truly be breaking the law or just following orders? I think when we think about are you breaking the law or just following orders, maybe we should think in the modern time as well. Now, I know y'all, but I am happy to have people. Oh, okay, yeah, Jeremy, get the fuck out of here. I don't stream to kids. Sorry, I use curse words far too frequently, and I'm not here for children. Let me be absolutely clear. I feel bad for the kids. I weep for the children whenever I think about what we're giving them. Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gen Gamma, are you here yet? Either way, y'all, seriously, good luck, Godspeed. I'm worried about y'all because you're inheriting a fucking dumpster fire. I'm doing everything I can, but I ain't a rich man, so I ain't going to be able to just hit the easy button on that one. You know who could? Jeffrey Bezos, Elon Musk, fucking Bill Gates. Name your rich cunt out there and then hate them as much as I do, because while you're cold and hungry, they're living in manors and riding on yachts to store their yachts. And anyone that says, oh, but I'm one of you folks. Yeah, who went to Trump's inaugural ball? Like I said, actions, folks. Actions are what count, not pretty words. Now let's get back to some of these pretty words, shall we? Over 30 okay, I already read that. This book grew out of a generation experimenting with life outside of capitalism and the ruins of the state. A life where people were looking for liberation from racism, sexism, class, and war. Abbie wasn't just writing about what he saw. He was living it, testing it, pushing limits every which way, and it made people uncomfortable. Yeah, y'all, I don't always agree with Abbie. For the record, Abbie was definitely one of those white dudes who said the N slur to just test the waters. He was a agitator, but he was a good agitator, you know? Because, yeah, he would agitate you, but he was never doing it just for the clicks. He was never doing it just to get it. He was doing it because we need to re-examine communism and classism and all the things that we have. We need to re-examine them and look into them better. You want a good communist? A good communist will tell you everything the fuck wrong with communism because we need to test it and make it better. A good capitalist? I've never found one. When I find one, I'll let you know, but so far, I already read that one, and we might make that stream public later, but I already read the Ferengi's 72 Rules of Acquisition released to us out of the 146 that they have, and yeah, I don't like capitalists. But again, ended the paragraph, so I'm trying to blather on so I don't end up copyright infringing. But like I said, Abbie stood for what he thought was right, and right or wrong, he did it right. He showed it. He put the work out there. And that's what I try to do myself. That's why I work for food, not for money half the time. And if you can't give me food for my work, but you still need help, so be it. I'll do whatever I can to help you, and I need you to write me a little letter saying that I've done volunteer hours. Because, and here's something different, when I was a kid, y'all, and you got on food stamps or anything of the sort, you basically just had to show that you were out there, show that you were attempting to get a job, show that you were doing the job, and they would give you enough food that you would survive. Maybe not well, but you would survive. In Trump's America, Every month I need to log at least 40 hours of either volunteer work or work. Otherwise, no food. And if you lose your food stamps, you gotta wait about a month to get back on it. So again, oh, we having an argument in chat? I'm coming in, let me see. Oh, thank you, Blue Sky. I very much appreciate you, friend. And again, y'all, let's try to be understanding. The dude, if he is a child, should not be here to begin with, but if he's not, he's got a child's mind. Most of these Republicans do. And I'm telling you, scratch the surface and that's what you'll get to. Because, well, why is it okay that they're killing Americans? Well, Renee Good was okay because she tried to run the man over. He was hit a year ago, y'all. Don't you feel bad for the Gestapo? No, I don't. Because if you're wearing a badge and you've got all the authority in the world and all the weapons and all the armor, what the fuck are you scared of? That's my problem. And if you're scared of us, the people, then why are you abusing us, idiot? If you're scared of it, why are you slapping it? Like I said, it's very simplistic. Their view is very, very simplistic. My view is a fuckload more complicated, but I do my best to put it into words. Again, not college educated, not from the higher echelons of people. I'm a fucking dude. I've worked my entire goddamn life for every fucking thing I've ever had, and there ain't much to show for it. But I'm proud of what I've owned. Not a proud boy by any stretch of the imagination. And again, unlike most of you Republicans, I can fucking read. Maybe not that great out loud, but I can fucking read. So, that's been a paragraph. Let's get back to it. You might ask, isn't this all out of date? No, I say. Sure, some things would be different today. You'll get arrested for a lot of these things. Don't do a lot of these things. Learn, don't do a lot of these things.
These days, work moves fast.
But things would be different today. Maybe some vegan or keto recipes would be thrown in, or maybe Abbie would include a chapter on social media. Because again, there was no social media. You want social media, you put it on a poster. You went out there and you did it. You had social, not social media, and God, I heard the boomer in my voice there. I'm sorry. Abbie would include a chapter on social media, but capitalism is a scam, no matter what decade. That one's the gospel. I hate that phrase. That one's the goddamn truth. And you're right again. And this book is about how to scam the scammer. It helps you train your eye and your mind to look for and to see abundance of opportunities that exist. It is an endless creative endeavor. It's timeless. I mean, for real. You can still furnish your room or house with free stuff shown on page 25 and learn how to resole sandals with rubber tires so you can literally be in the moment as the rubber hits the road. Pause, because I would like to correct, and then we'll go to page 25 to check out the furnishing your house. That one probably is still true. Do not use the tire tread sandals unless you actually put another layer in between the tread and your feet, because back then you had basic rubber tires. They were just an inner tube rubber road. Nowadays, due to safety standards, not always a bad thing, your tires have this interlacing of wire and metal. And if you try to make shoes out of that, you got to be real careful how you do it, but you can do it. But again, it's not as simple as he made it seem, because back then, different time. But then again, back then you could get a job just about anywhere by walking in the door and, hey, you ain't got nobody here? I'll help. And they'd hire you, as long as you had a name and they'd give you cash right at the register. Those ways died because capitalists realized people like Abbie, and people like hopefully one day myself, would constantly fight and buck their stupid fucking system. Exactly. But we'll go to page 25 first, because again, if I skip around enough, actually maybe Hatchet Books wouldn't come after me for copywriting, but I'm still abundance of caution. Abbie's gone, rest his soul. And his company, if it is a company, God, I hope not, might decide to come after me. Remember, you can read Dickinson on here and get attacked by Dickinson's descendants. Page 25. Let's go. 23. 25. Okay. Free furniture room designed by Off the Streetin'. Okay. For this one, I'm going to show you the picture, which looks like they were very nice to hand draw it. And then we'll go over each item. Now, here's what's fun. I knew people in high school that did this, and I am so proud of them for being able to do this shit, because they helped teach me how to do this kind of stuff. Okay, one, the couch. The couch are 4 polyform mats, and then a door that was gotten from a construction site out of the dumpster, and then 4 concrete blocks, again, procured from construction sites. Now, back in Abbie's day, there were no construction, like, visual things. You didn't have cameras everywhere and a little box there to record everything and quick live stream it right to the cops. So if you're going to try to raid a construction site, 2 things. The proper way, go and ask the foreman on the site if they would mind you going through the garbage. Probably they'll let you, but it's an iffy thing. If you would rather follow the Ferengi or the capitalist rule of acquisition, what I cannot suggest, but not suggest to you, is wait until the site closes, check using your camera looking for a red light or any kind of reflective light that would show a camera in the process of recording. And if you are clear, very, very carefully, because you're putting your own life in your hands doing it, go in, go to the dumpster. Don't go raiding their actual stuff. Go to the dumpster and get those construction materials. Oh, thank you.
I learned that Washington never told a lie. I learned that soldiers seldom die.
See, exactly, Blue Sky 2000. Like I said, that's why I don't like it, because I feel like I'm trying to tell y'all to break the law, and I don't want to do that, but we get to that breaking point of, yeah, be law-abiding citizens. Do right by the Empire. But if the Empire is gonna fucking kill you, no, don't die. Please don't die. But I mean, in an America where being homeless is criminalized, and there are for the record, 12 degrees right now in my town, in U Harley, right the fuck here. 12 degrees. There are 3 heating stations, 3, provided by churches, and 1 secular organization called the Red Door Church, and I will never badmouth them. They're doing their best. But again, 3. We've got 4 police stations, 5 fucking fire stations, hospitals, 3 warming stations that are old churches. We are dealing with a hostile government, and we need to act accordingly. Now, for the record, I will say again, fall within the law where we can. But when the law wants you dead, please don't follow the law. Oh, thank you. The hair is seen better days. Admittedly, when I'm in between jobs, I don't dye my hair because I have the dyeing kit, but that's because I buy gallons of the shit at a time. I get it on sale. So I tend to let the hair go when I'm in between jobs because old people hire me and old people don't like dyed hair, it seems. And if I had like a doctorate degree or a couple bachelors and a master's somewhere, I could get away with it. But I'm just a poor old white man. So no, this is the extent of what I'm allowed to go extreme with and still say, hey, bud, I'm a hard worker. Want to hire me? I also have painted nails, but they're a little chipped up and fucked up because yesterday I tore down a porch for fun and to help out a neighbor who needed a porch torn down. Again, y'all, I'm not just telling you read books, educate yourself, help. I'm telling you help. If you don't know who your neighbor is by name or by face, that's a problem, friend. Go find out. Cook something for each other. Do something. Hang out. Y'all, I hate poker. I fucking hate poker. I know how to play the card game because when I worked on a boat for Steel City Marine Transport, some of the dudes liked to play, and I wanted to also join in with my comrades. Even though, admittedly, I had like 2 out of a crew of 20 that liked me enough to not want me dead, it seemed like. And then again, who knows? Maybe that's my own head messed up because I have friends. I have one. He lives down the hall from me. I've got friends outside of that, but they never show up and they don't hang out. So, yeah, they're my friends in the sense that y'all are all my friends. We live in strange times, and I don't want a doomer. This is not a doomer stream. There is hope. Y'all, we have lived through way worse than this. It's just, this is the first time in living memory we've had this hostile of a U.S. government that we're facing off against. And let's also be very clear when I say this is the first time we white people have to worry about the government. I'm not, ignore the Blair Mountain coal miner rebellions, ignore the times when working class white folks did get thrown in. But outside of that, 99.9% of the time, white folks, we get the easy end of the fucking stick. And if you don't believe me, I can't really say that one in good conscience. I was about to say, go put on blackface and tell a cop he's a stupid fucking pig. See how quickly and how well that works out for you. Like I said, I'm not going to be correct, y'all. I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to try not to offend the good people out there. But, y'all, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest 100% first. And if it comes off wrong, feel free to correct me, and I will try to do right. But I face correction, not condemnation. Oh, you have offended me. I don't give a fuck. I could give a fuck right now. An innocent man was gunned down in the streets, and literally day after that, another innocent person lost a few fingers to a fucking flashbang. I'm done with, you need to be more politically correct. You need to draw in fuck both sides. The rights are a bunch of fucking Nazis. I don't like Nazis. Only good Nazi's a fucking dead Nazi. Period. And that goes for the goddamn Gestapo too. That being said, don't kill the Nazis literally because I don't want to get arrested, thank you. Don't kill the Nazis, please. They're people too. They have families. So do fucking rats. And I like rats better. Now, the cable spool. This one I have done a few times because a lot of our construction companies, better or worse, if it comes off the side of the road, it's yours, friends. And the cable spool's an easy one. I've also collected a few chairs this way. Now, the cinder block bookcase. For this one, you gotta get some wood of some kind, typically, but you can always find that to work with. Cinder blocks, either stand them set, take 3, run the boards through them. You might have to shave the boards down a bit, but you can do that with some easy work with a knife or a Dremel if you happen to have the tools. You don't got to do it the hard way if you got the tools, and I highly suggest getting tools where you can. Like I said, sometimes it hurts to do it. Oh, good, it's bleached, so y'all ain't going to see it. My hands are quite scratched up from that work yesterday, and all I had yesterday to take down the porch was one tack hammer. Well, the hammer with the little grip on the end, basic bitch hammer for me. I had a hammer and a lot of anger. But that's how to build your free living room set. Now, will it impress the Joneses? Absolutely not. They don't care. We are not here to impress the Joneses. Fuck the Joneses. It'll impress me. It'll impress anyone that's had to live on the fucking edge before, because it'll be, damn, dude, you did good on this. Look at this craftsmanship. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's go back to the intro and see if there's anything else we can find real quick. And where did we leave off at? There we go. But it isn't just free stuff and repurposing. Abbie was funny as hell and a mischievous prankster. But he was also deadly serious about what we were up against and the choices we had to make. Like, how do we stop the police state and its infiltration of our organizations and movements? For that, check out Squid Tips. I'm not kidding. That's a real person on here. He's a motorcycle guy. They run security for people when they need help. And check him out, Squid Tips. I'd throw a link, but I don't know how to do that. I might post him in the description. I wasn't intending to talk about him, but he's a good fella. Short hair, dyed hair. Typically, you'll see him in a helmet, and I do believe he's in Minneapolis right now with the other protesters fighting for freedom. I say fighting, even though truthfully we're doing what we can to not fight. And I would like to point that out as well. When the Nazi went up to Minneapolis to try to burn a Quran and ended up stuck in a corner getting water ballooned, y'all, we weren't pelting him with rocks. We weren't throwing snowballs. We hit him with water and said, go the fuck away, Nazi, go the fuck away. And the right's playing that up like we lynched the man. Again, notice, We throw water balloons and they compare it to shooting us. They shoot us, and y'all need to follow the rules now. Rule followers don't get shot unless, you know, they do. Because I'll remind you again, Pretty had a concealed carry permit. He paid his dues, he played by the rules, and he was beaten, maced, put on his knees, and murdered in front of all of us. And they're telling you not to trust your lying eyes. Trust your eyes, friends. Don't trust me if your eyes tell you something else. Abbie liked to rock the boat, but he was also trying to make things better. In Steal This Book, Abbie lays out what he calls a potential action program for our new nation. The chapter heading in the table of discontents spells out the demands of a free society. And I gotta say, y'all, this feels like a good blueprint. It does. Free food, free clothing and furniture, free transportation, free land, free housing, free education, free medical care, free communications, free play, free money, free dope. Free is best. And you want to know how you get that? Through people working together. Y'all, Star Trek gave us the blueprint before they lost the fucking script. Star Trek is a space odyssey about a post-scarcity world. And yes, I realize we have scarcity, but do we? I mean, again, we only have scarcity because a couple trillionaires, and about 100 millionaires say we need scarcity. If we got rid of them, and it was just us, every kitchen I've ever worked in would say, hey, if you're hungry, eat. Minus Zaxby's, and I never worked at Zaxby's again because of that fucking mantra. Every construction site I've ever been on that was an actual, I'm working here construction site. Hey boss, I need a few nails. Oh fuck, I didn't see you take a few out the building then. Shut the fuck up about it. Your bosses typically are people like you. Unless they are, you know, like some of the ones we've seen in chat so far, they're the boot suckers that really, 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 really love the authoritarian regimes. For them, they want you to suffer because through your suffering breeds strength. Strength through suffering breeds men. It breaks men. Again, you want strength through suffering? Look at Russia right now. How they look? They look strong to you? They couldn't even beat Ukraine, and it's been 7 years, and now they have U.S. funding behind them. Strength through suffering is fucking stupid. Avoid suffering where you can, and you can avoid suffering with your comrades and with the people around you. If you don't know where to look, ask. People will reach out. Y'all, when a few weeks ago, when I was afraid the fucking power was about to go out because I still hadn't found another means of amiable employment, I did the worst thing I could imagine. I asked my friends for money. I was like, hey, y'all, $1 each out of everybody and I can pay for electricity. Or anyone who can give anything would be very much appreciated. Got a whole lot of thoughts and prayers. Whole lot of, man, that sucks. And then one dude that I've been arguing with, we've said mean things to each other. Fuck, dude, here's $50. Don't fucking worry about it. Consider it a late holiday gift. I fucking cried. This man who I've argued with was just, here. You're suffering, I'm not, you take. And I carried that forward. I'm doing my best to pay him back through helping others as well. And that's what it takes, y'all. Each other. Real moments, real humans, really working together. We don't need fucking heroes. We need people. People will uplift the people. Okay, back to Abbie's words, not mine. Who today would not be down with this program? In fact, many people and groups are still organizing around these same ideas, that being free everything. Adapting new strategies as times change. We've had successes and failures, and we keep learning from both. We've also had to stay vigilant, even when we do make breakthroughs like with legislation of medical and recreational marijuana. The capitalists swoop in to make a big bucks, and it's the same shit, different decade. Again, friends, if you were around for it, do you remember when they first started legalizing weed? And I mean when they first, like, bleeding edge, when they first, hey, it's not a drug no more, and you bought something from the gas station. I mean, for real, this ain't entrapment, right? They were giving away weed. Fucking people were happy and in the streets. Within 3 years, the spaces that legalized at first became crime rings and trades. Because instead of worrying about, hey, I'm going to be the best fucking weed maker in the world. My weed's going to be so fucking fire, it'll put you on your ass. It became, but mine's the artisanal weed, man. Come on, buy mine, man. All became buying shit. I'm not for buying shit. Hell, what I make by hand. And this one I'm going to show off a little. We'll move into the crocheting section soon. But like, made a cloak. When it didn't sell, I kept it for myself, but then made several blankets that I just gave away to the unhoused on the street because they weren't selling. And like the one that's hanging up behind me, that keeps the wind out. That keeps the air out. And yeah, that took me about, I'd say 3 weeks, if that. And 1 second. I almost moved the computer, but it took me about 3 weeks, if that. And if I wasn't using that one, it would be going to someone who needs it. That's the thing, y'all. When I say get into it, I mean get into it. Don't collect shit, because why? Now, don't get me wrong. If you like it, if it brings you joy, by all means. But if you're just doing it because, look what I got, why? Who are you showing off to? That's the thing. It should be more about what you do. Like, if this book weren't in such a rough-ass condition from being on the road with me so much, it'd be going to the library as soon as I finish reading it to y'all. I keep kicking myself because I gave Behave by Robert Sapolsky to the library already, and I really wanted to talk about that one. And currently, because of a discrepancy in a late fee, book fell behind the couch, I owe them $25, and they won't let me borrow no more till I pay them back. I'm not bitching. The libraries are in hard times right now. But yeah, it makes it hard to get free books to read to y'all sometimes. Maybe one day I'll do a stream from the library, but with how loud and projecting I am, I don't want to bother people. And I do know that if I was out in public, I might be bothering some folks. I don't know. First streams I did were just walking back and forth to work. And then I said Charlie Glug's death wasn't a great loss, and I lost my job due to it. Hey, it's America. The freedom taketh and the freedom taketh. But, which reminds me of a pissing action I did with Abbie's support in the late 80s. We gathered well hydrated at the Federal Building in Boston and collected 24 vials full of urine, which we then mailed to Ronald Reagan in the White House. The action was in response to Nancy Reagan's Just Say No advertising campaign and the U.S. war on drugs, a great diversion to mask the Reagan administration's illegal activity in Colombia. And that's another thing, y'all. It's still the same fucking tactic. He breaks the law, he molests children, and when it's time to pay the piper and fucking come out and own up what you did, Trump, what's he do? He invades Venezuela. Don't look at me, look at Minnesota. Don't look at... Where's them files at, Mr. Trump? Well, Clinton's in him, and he's trying to deny it. Hang him then, but he's already said he'll testify when you do. Ball's in your court, chunky Nazi. Yeah, I'm sure the administration, actually, I hate to say it, I'm sure someone in the administration's watching my feed. But, yeah, your ball, fat Hitler. Steal This Book challenges each of us to get clear on what we can and what we will do, breaking down the wall between personal and political. Can I really steal this book? Will I steal this book? Is stealing this book a violation of my moral code? Or just a bunch of shit I bought into that unconsciously keeps me in line and in fear? Could I really live off-grid? Could I table dive and eat uneaten food on somebody else's plate? What keeps me from rocking the boat? Y'all, again, I'm not telling you to do anything that I have not already done or seen done. I'm not gonna be out here and say, do the great thing while I'm sitting behind my podium, well fed and well taken care of. I'm not well taken care of, I'm not well fed, I'm pissed off like the rest of you should be. And together, we will win this day. Yeah, I'm covered in tattoos, most of which I did myself. Because if it's free and from the heart, it's worth it. And that's everybody every time. I mean, see, I kind of agree and disagree, because it's very much Atlas Shrugged to say, oh, we need more producers. Yeah, I agree. And we need to, everyone should have a hobby that isn't just buying shit. Find a hobby, whether it's tacking, which is, I learned yesterday, is basically making those neat little nets and such. Whether it's making fun things like I do with crocheting, whether it's knitting, whether it's sewing. Hey, you can use a needle and make a straight line with the lace. Help your friends patch their clothes rather than throwing them out. If your clothes fall apart in your hands because you bought it off of Temu, don't do that again. Go to the Goodwill, get something, and make something for your own. I want more artists out there. I want more painters, more drawers. Because, yeah, some of it, yarn is expensive. Twine is expensive. String is expensive. But a number 2 pencil? Copy paper? These are not expensive things. Get your messages out there. That's the thing, y'all. It's just make. And no, I don't have great talent or taste, trust me. It's more of, if you give it to me and I can make use of it, I'll say what it is and I'll say what it can be. Hell, most of my time when I'm not here speaking to you or outside doing what volunteer work can be done around me or checking in with people that I know or trying to get more rabble-rousers out there rousing rabble, I'm on League of Legends, and surprisingly, that will be the least toxic you ever see me, is on League of Legends saying, hey, y'all, it's a game. Let's have fun. Hey, y'all, I'm not doing so good, but hell, it's a game. Let's enjoy ourselves. Again, I treat systems brutally. I treat Nazis like they fucking deserve. And I treat people like people. Because we're all people. And if I could read fucking Robert Sapolsky to you, I would cover more about the debate between if we have free will or if it's just free choice. Because, again, y'all, I'll never have the skill to tell you, well, go to a bank dressed like this and then go to them and tell them this and then this code will be said with this one, then you'll get money. No, I don't know that magic. I can't tell you how to take a dead relative and turn it into a house or take, that skill and go to those places and deal with those people because I don't have those skills. I can tell you if you take a can of Van Camp's beans that's almost a year out of date, you add some paprika to it, you add some oregano to it, and you just boil it a little bit longer than necessary. That way you're making sure to cook out anything that's bad. Yeah, it's a pretty good meal. I can tell you that so long as a can is not rusted or bloated, the contents within it are still probably good. And I can tell you the difference between, whew, that's sour, and, oh no, that's foul, get rid of that. I can tell you those differences because I vomited up the fucking mistakes. I've poisoned myself more times than I can count on bad food to learn how to cook good food. And that's kind of how it goes, It's, you do what you can with what you got. And I'll never be on the Jimmy Snow. Child, please be nice. The cat is picking on the dog. That, 1 minute. Yes, I'm making a... This one's name is Chikora, and she is our dear queen. She's also fixed. One of our few fixed ones, thankfully. But it's like... She's also one of the few girls. But it's like, y'all, we work together. And if we work together, I know we can conquer anything. Because the natives didn't fucking vanish. They're still here. You want to know how they're still here? Together. The Chinese, and not to sound that way, but the Chinese from the Exemption Act. You want to know why we still have people here from there? Because they didn't fucking vanish. They didn't lay down and die. They fought against a system that wanted them dead after they were no longer useful building our railways. And after they were done, we wanted them out, and we wanted them dead. And so we tried our damnedest to do that, and we failed because of good God. The computer just did its doobly-doo thing, and it just dropped to 10 degrees here. It was 12 when the stream started. It's now 10. Good God. stay warm out there, y'all. That's the main takeaway of today's stream is stay warm. If you're in a pinch, something you can do if you need to is basically dig a small hole, build a fire within it, make sure you got a breathing line going down into that hole, that way your fire can still breathe. Put a terracotta pot or something of that nature over top of it, not something metallic because that'll burn you, and not something plastic because that'll melt. Something like a terracotta pot will keep the light down so you don't get caught and arrested, but it'll also warm up the terracotta, and if you put your tent around that, or put a form of a tent around that, that'll keep you warm. Right now, folks, my main goal is stay warm, stay fed, stay alive. Because at some point, and history has taught us this one, media has taught us this one, when ICE continues to execute people in the fucking streets, and the cops make their decision, whichever way it's gonna go, as if we don't already know how that one's gonna go, but when it breaks out, a well-fed, well-armed, strong group of people that never fucking knew each other before tomorrow will do better than a whole group of starved, ready-to-fight people. Stay well, stay together. And remember, the Republican that you knew yesterday might have turned his decision today. I mean, the head of ICE just said calling the fucking Gestapo the fucking Gestapo would have its consequences. They're the fucking Gestapo. Balls in your court, tiny man. It's not as if y'all don't know where I live. But again, they're telling us, they're telling you what you can and cannot say now. Y'all, if we don't even have freedom of fucking speech, what do we have? You got the freedom to die, apparently, and that's it. So fight it. Or as they would say, or as Abbie would say, rock that boat, y'all. Rock it. Abbie excelled later in life at saving rivers. I worked with him for over a year fighting the Army Corps of Engineers with Save the River, where we successfully blocked the nuclear waste industry from transporting dangerous nuclear waste from Canada into the U.S. across the St. Lawrence River. He fought and won against the Army Corps of Engineers, who wanted to do winter navigation, meaning they would bust up the ice to keep the river open to ship year-round, even though it would destroy a beautiful and fragile St. Lawrence ecosystem. He also fought against the pumping of the Delaware River in New Hope, Pennsylvania, in New Hope, Pennsylvania. In the late 1980s, he worked with young organizers to form a national student convention and student action union. In 1986, working with Amy Carter, Abbie, and 60 students were arrested for opposing the CIA recruitment on college campuses, resulting in his second major political trial. The trial of the Chicago 8 was the first. He won both. Abbie never stopped teaching young people how to organize creatively and win. I cannot promise you wins, folks. I cannot. Does this look like the face of a winner to you? I can't tell you how to win. I can tell you how to fight, and I can tell you that sometimes it's the fights you lose that matter more than the fights you win. And young people can continue to use the resources available to them to get involved. That one's a true one. While many aided and abetted steal this book, even more shared their life experience as a participant researcher, either interviewing or being interviewee. Today we might call it crowdsourcing. While 50 years ago, While 50 years ago, we needed to do this in person or over the phone, technology now has given us many new ways to get informed about our world. One of my favorite participant research sites today is called Little Sis, as opposed to Big Brother. Get it? They wrote that. Get it? But I don't know how much of the book y'all can see. I'm right below the light, but it's the best I got right now. We fight with what we can, not what we want. But yeah, it's true. I'm connecting to so many of y'all right now, just two in the audience, but who knows once I make this thing public. We have the potential. The question is the potential going to turn into action, or is the potential going to go buy a new Labubu and then wait for what happens next? Is the potential going to boycott, Or is the potential going to break the line and go buy Starbucks because, gosh darn it, I just need my coffee? I'm not telling you that it ain't going to hurt, y'all. I'm telling you, we got to fight, even though it hurts. Right now, it's 10 degrees here. In Minnesota, well, I don't have to lie about this. Let me Google that. I have a computer up that the phone's sitting on. I just haven't been using it accurately. Let's see. Minnesota temp. Yes, today, please. I don't care what it was 4 days ago. It's 3 degrees there. There are people right now organizing and fighting ice in 3-degree weather. Grandmas are out there. Babies in their mother's wombs are crying out against the evils of this presidency. And so I have to ask, what are you going to do? And now we're reading the next introduction. I think all we're going to probably do today is get through the introductions, but I am going to post this on the page for the live, and we will come back tomorrow to continue. This isn't going to be quite as quick as Quark's book, but again, y'all, I'm trying my best to do this within the letter of the law. Introduction to the 2002 edition, Still a Steal, an introduction by Al Giordano. I'm going to butcher this name. Giordano. 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 He just had the idea it would be a good little gang to liberate this book from the bookstore, and we put Steal This Book on the book cover of Woodstock Nation, and the Random House sales manager went bananas. We can't do this. The crazier he went, the more Abbie loved it. And for the record, that's kind of got to be the mental break you got, because, yeah, it's... if you are agitating them, if they're blowing up your comments, if they're angrily banging at you, congratulations, you've succeeded. Now, use that. At that point, Abbie decided that his next book was going to be called Steal This Book, and that's at least part of the reason that Random House refused to publish it. Also, they had a few problems with the instructions for how to blow up things. We're going to skip those chapters if we have to. I don't know if they ever noticed that the little Random House logo on Woodstock Nation was the little Random House logo being blown up. Chris Scherf, editor, Random House, from Steal This Dream by Larry Sloman. And there goes my Zuko stalking across the couch. Abbie Hoffman was 100% into anything he did. There was no such thing as halfway with Abbie. A task was either something worth going to jail for, worth dying for, or it was not worth doing. Abbie had the same approach to writing books. He wrote the introduction to Steal This Book from the Cook County Jail in 1970, from where he boasted that he was learning the only rehabilitation possible, hatred of oppression. We're gonna go on so many tangents here. Y'all gonna realize that even though I sound like a Southern dandy, I'm an Irishman. But that's a good point there, because that's just the thing, y'all. We have no rehabilitation in this country. Take it from someone who needed it at one point. Because, yeah, it don't hurt to say it. I was diagnosed with ADHD in high school due to a very militaristic family and very much, you need to overcome your issues. I had Ritalin and Adderall for like a year that the military gave me. And then after that, I was not allowed. I could get it. I was a kid. My dad was a vet. I could get Adderall and Ritalin. But as my mother and father put it, once I was not allowed in the military due to the ADHD, I would lose my Ritalin and Adderall, and so I best learn how to live without it. And so I was forced to learn and deal and work within having this issue and not being able to medicate it. So I found other medications, alcohol, marijuana. I found other things that I can't really name accurately. Something called Mojo when I worked at the the boating company. Something that was something else when I was in Illinois. Basically to make my brain go in one direction rather than 50. But you learn, you overcome, you deal. You shouldn't have to. If you get the option, take the fucking medication that'll help you. But that's the thing. In America, we don't do that. We blame the drug addicts. We blame the drunks. We blame the alcoholics. We blame the bad people but we don't give them any hope of getting better. There's no program that will genuinely help you get clean of alcohol. Oh, you've got AA. Yeah, and if you replace alcohol with Jesus, you'll be fine. Until Jesus doesn't cure your problem and you go back to alcohol and then blame yourself for being a flawed and fucked up human being. Y'all, we're all flawed. We're all fucked up. You need help when you need help. You're never going to pull yourself out of depression. Trust me. I've seen people try. I've seen better people than me and you fail at it. And when you fail to pull yourself out of depression, I think you can pick up what I'm putting down. If you don't pick up what I'm putting down, I'm happy that your brain doesn't work like mine. But facts, there's no rehabilitation here. There's no help for you if you want and need help. Especially not in today's fascist America, but it's been the same in Obama's America, in Biden's America. It would have been the same in Harris's America, but I'm not going to dog on Harris because we didn't get to see it, so fuck you. You don't get to insult the woman. I heard the same shit about Hillary Clinton, and I still hear the same shit about Hillary Clinton. Do I want Hillary Clinton as a president? No, I don't. But you can't bitch if the woman didn't have the fucking chance. That's stupid. We didn't get Hillary, we got Trump. And what did Trump do? He fucked us. He fucked us hard in his first administration and took every penny that had been built up through the two Democratic times and purged it, saving rich assholes. And then this time he got back in, and what little bit Biden had built back up after COVID, what happened? It's immediately gone into Jeffrey Bezos, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump's fat fucking pockets. So again, don't tell me America has any fucking hope for the downtrodden. We're behind every other fat cat that's going to eat every bit of food that we can get before we can get it. If we didn't have this system, then jailhouses wouldn't just throw rapists in with burglars in, with child molesters in, with gang bangers in, with... You would separate people. You would have severities of crime. You would have people that would ideally work with each other and give you good working ways out of prison. Because here's the thing, y'all. You want to know why most people go back? First time, it's a fuck up. First time, it's usually someone fucked up. They shouldn't have done that. They did wrong. I'll say that. You'll say that half the time if you see the cases. But once they're there, and once they've served their time and they get out, what's there for them? What choice do they have? They can work dead-end jobs and bust their ass to barely cut it by and be happy, or they can go for that gold again. Because, hell, you did it before. Think of how much better you were living when you were slinging meth, huh? So, would you rather sling the meth and possibly risk it all, or would you rather live a life of inadequacy? That's what America gives you. Fuck that. Don't sling the meth. Don't do that. But also, stop with this whole, oh, well, you've been to jail, but you'll get back on your feet, champ. Yeah, if you work the fuck out yourself, you'll get back on your feet, maybe. Or you might end up stuck in a dead-end job for the rest of your life because no one's going to give you, an inmate, a chance at a better life. Or you can be a con man. I mean, I'm going to risk the fucking algorithm here, but like that one douchebag down in Florida that I thought was a good inmate streamer that talked about the shit, and then when Trump came around, he spread cheeks for the administration, JD or whatever the fuck his name is. He's a big guy. He can beat my ass. I'm sure he can. I'm sure that'll be the first thing he says is how bad he can beat my ass. Here's the thing, y'all. I'm old. I'm fucked up. I've had machinery fall on me. I've fucking broken my fucked up body so many times. I can't kick nobody's ass. I ain't gonna let you take me off the stage. But that's stupid. Yes, heavy things, hard, ha, ha, ha. Okay, cool. And what have you done to build? You're all that muscle and all that strength, and yeah, you can beat me, but I'll be laughing at you while you beat my ass, which will probably upset you more, honestly. Because that's the thing. Some of us don't fear pain anymore because we live in it. What are you going to do when you try to fight a man who lives in constant pain? That's beside the point. Nobody here's a badass, because if you were a badass, you'd be fighting the system right now in Minnesota or down in Atlanta where my brothers and sisters are protesting, and I would be with them if that wasn't about a 14-hour hike. Probably more. I'd get there and everything would be done and packed up and I'd be heading home. But that's the point. We do what we can, where we can, and we don't feel guilty for what we can't do. Because again, that's also dumb. Do what you can. Pray for the dead, fight like hell for the living. Mother Jones, Blair Mountain. And anyone that thinks the U.S. Army will always stand by you and protect you against all threats, both foreign and domestic, check out the Coal Miner Rebellion, Blair Mountain. Check out what's going on right now. I'm just saying, y'all, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to tell you facts. Things that I see as they are. And I am happy to be corrected if anyone wants to fucking correct me. Okay, Noon 242XO, I did see your comment. I was just ignoring it until now, but I'll go ahead and count. Noon 24, they aren't fighting, they are protesting. They are basically just begging and begging, usually doesn't accomplish anything. Okay, cool. So what are you doing, bud? What are you doing? Because again, what they're doing is fighting. They're doing it non-violently until they have to do it violently. And when we do have to do it violently, well, an ICE agent lost a finger while they were trying to arrest somebody the other day. Yum yum. I'm just saying. Don't go out there and try to do this violently, because here's the thing. And this is just real talk from someone who's, again, read the history books. Fight the U.S. military and you will die. You will die. All the people with you will die. And your calls will be stomped into the ground. Period. You want to know who tries to do shit violently? Jim Jones, Charles Manson, I don't know who the fucker was at Ruby Ridge, but Ruby Ridge. They all chose the violent route. Do you remember them? Hey, have you ever heard them sing a song or raise a glass in their honor? No, because they fucking got people killed stupidly. This isn't the place for stupid shit. Don't be fucking stupid. We can laugh, we can joke, but cold-blooded facts. If you think you're going to fight the U.S. military and fucking win, I wish you luck. I hope you win. But history has stated otherwise. Best we can do is stand together, and if we do have to fight, we do it on scene. The reason that Pretty died and did not fire a shot from his gun was because he wasn't there to kill people. He was there to help people. He was a nurse. Like I said, the state of this country bothers me greatly, but what can we do but what we're doing here? Doing our best. And I give all the honor to the ones that are brave enough to go out there, knowing they're making targets of themselves, knowing that they're fighting a fight that they might or might not win, but at least they'll fucking try. Again, I say, if you're gonna bitch about the protesters, the fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna. Yeah, and all the fucking right-wing cunts kept saying that I got my rifle to fight against tyranny. Tyranny's right the fuck there, bitch. You shooting at it yet? No, you're not. Because you were never gonna do it, but it made you feel like a big man to have it and pretend. This isn't the place This isn't the place to play pretend. Abbie knew that. I know that. People that have studied know that. And I'm not trying. You want to fight? I get it. I feel you. I swing like a pendulum between God damn it, let's kill them all, and fuck, why are we even like this? It's 2020 fucking 5. We shouldn't be talking like this. We shouldn't be doing this shit. We should be working on making fucking cars that run on goddamn hopes and dreams rather than fucking dead dinosaurs. We should be building power grids that feed into themselves. No, there is no infinite perpetual energy device, but that feed into themselves. We burn our trash that makes the carbon that feeds the power plants, that makes the trash that burns the carbon that feeds the power plants. It's not gonna feed itself. There will still be causes. We will still have to add fuel. But again, better work. And it comes from people standing together. Right now, what I'm doing ain't shit compared to every motherfucker who went to that heating shelter tonight and served soup and gave out blankets and worked with people in need. Y'all, I'm not just a piece of shit. I'm not just bitching about the pieces of shit. I am one. I just am trying my best to do what I can with what I am. And that's all we can fucking do. That's all any of us can do, is our best. And so if the best you got is listening to me, or going to Squid Tips, or going to Surus, or going to anywhere else, the Mermaid streamer, some of these other streamers, then yeah, that's all you can do, and you shouldn't feel bad for that. You should do what you can. I'm just saying, nothing is the only option that I'm going to shame you for. When I say, hey, this is a slum and we need to fix it up, and your response is, it's not a slum. That's the problem. That's my problem. When your solution is status quo, that's my problem. We gotta stand against it. If you want just empty bullshit, go listen to Tim fucking Pool. He'll gurgle your balls while he tells you that we're all gonna die and we need to fight a civil war. I'm gonna tell you to organize, make posters, put them up. Put up posters that have dead pigs on, not actual dead animals. Let's not kill the pigs if we can help it, but put up posters with pictures of dead pigs and say that ICE ain't nothing but Nazi cunts. Hurt their feelings, and believe it or not, it'll either prompt them into acting, which will then kickstart us actually getting to fight, that some of you actually fucking want apparently, or it'll make them go, oh, holy shit, everyone hates us and I don't want to be hated. There's a reason that even Greg Gutfield and all these cunts are the heroes in their own heads. If you talk to Pierce Morgan, I'm bringing freedom to the world. I speak the truth to power. Because we're all the heroes in our own story, folks. It's not just main character syndrome for a few. We have to routinely examine ourselves. And that's why I kind of put on the fun part and dress ridiculous and have fun, is because I am ridiculous. We're all ridiculous. And together we can stop it. If we try to be super serious and stogie, what are we accomplishing? I mean, fuck's sake, me calling a libertarian a pedophile on the fucking Facebook got him to blow up my phone so much that he's probably still angry rage posting on my fucking shit. But you know what he's not doing? Harassing a trans girl, harassing a little boy somewhere, harassing someone who's right now crying because a good man got murdered in front of the entire nation, and half the nation's response to that is, fafo, 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 fafo. Like I said, some of y'all won't know until the boot's on your neck. And then you'll still be saying, my officer, you have such a nice boot. Why are you putting it on my neck, sir? Oh, what's that gun for, officer? The gun ain't for you, friend. Well, it ain't to protect you, friend. Of all his 7 published works, Steal This Book is the most widely read and most notorious. Revolution for the Hell of It, Woodstock Nation, or the autobiography of Abbie Hoffman may be better literature, but Steal This Book was the one and remains the most memorable of his written works. For the scandals it caused, it was also probably his most effective radical creation, because it was largely a how-to book. The title is 90% of the work, lamented the late independent filmmaker Jack Smith. But Abbie would somehow find another 110%, and that's what he put into Steal This Book. It was a survival guide, exclusively researched to finding free food, free clothing and furniture, free transportation, free land, too many frees in here, free transportation, free land, free housing, free education, free medical care, free communication, free play, free money, free dope. To list the opening chapter titles, a lot of Steal This Book seems today, 3 decades later, much more than 3 decades later. I would like to remind everyone that this was released in 2002. So 3 decades, and then go ahead and add another 2 decades to that, 50 years ago. And we need to remember that as we proceed, because I'm going to skip the opening and get right to the first. Now we're getting into the thick of it, friends. Steal This Book by Abbie Hoffman, co-conspirator Isaac Harper, accessory after the fact Burt Cohen. And as you can see, as promised, that right there is the random audio books blowing up. Because that's the thing, y'all. The good publishers, they aren't going to publish works like this. Because it's scary to them. Because they are the fat cats that are getting paid by your blood and death. And they know one day you'll see them for what they are. And, well, check out that episode of Deep Space Nine when the Bajoran Resistance Front, the Circle terrorist organization, attacks the station. Notice how Quark is, I can't stay here, because he sold weapons and food and comfort to both sides. And understand, friends, when you sell to both sides, you're just ensuring your death. Healthy profits, but nobody likes being taken for a fucking fool. That's why, again, this is your periodic hour reminder. If you're a right-winger and you're here, you might be a little lost, friend. You're in the wrong spot. I fucking hate you. But that doesn't have to be a permanent effect. Maybe you'll learn one day. Introduction, and then I swear we're going to do a little bit of crocheting after a bathroom break, and I will be continuing from there. A little bit of crocheting, and then we'll end the stream, and I'll go pick on people on League of Legends and probably get picked on myself for some fun. After I check on the situation in the kitchen and then pop my head outside to make sure everybody's okay and I don't see no fires in the distance. Without further ado, introduction. It's perhaps fitting that I write this introduction in jail, that graduate school of survival. Here you learn how to use toothpaste as glue, fashion a shiv out of a spoon, and build intricate communication networks. Here too you learn the only rehabilitation possible, hatred of oppression. Steal this book is, in a way, a manual of survival in the prison that is America. Also, do try to do that because it pisses people off. If you're writing out America, replace the C with 3 Ks. Because, I mean, after all, the Black Panther Liberation Party, a group of good men and women who sought to do such heinous acts as feed school children and, provide shelter for people downtrodden, they were beaten. The police of that area would go into the school kitchens, break the food open, and piss all over those little children's food, and then call themselves on the side of the right. Meanwhile, the KKK, the Klan, has been around since the days of since the days of the Reformation, since the days of Reconstruction, and they've never once been labeled a terrorist organization. They're responsible for, at a glance, over 400 innocent American deaths. Black Panther Liberation Party got a goose egg. If you really dig in deep, and I have dug in deep, you might find 2 deaths they are responsible for. Their own people were killed within the organization, possibly, the police report says, due to gang dislikes. But I think it might have been someone was a traitor and they got caught. Either way, I don't condone murder like that, and, just looking at the score, over 400 people killed, and they have formed several hate groups. Meanwhile, 2, and it was their own people. Just saying. 16 Tons, Tennessee Ernest Ford TV is what's playing right now in the background, and god damn, that song is too close to my heart. Steal this book is, in a way, a manual of survival, and okay, we already did that. It preaches jailbreak. It shows you where and exactly how to place the dynamite that will destroy the walls. The first section, Survive, lays out a potential action program for a new nation. The chapter heading spells out demands for a free society, a community where the technology produces goods and services for whoever needs them, come who may. It calls on Robin Hoods of Santa Barbara Forest to steal from the robber barons who own the castles of capitalism. It implies that the reader already is ideologically set, in that he understands the corporate feudalism as the only robbery worthy of being called a crime, for it is committed against the people as a whole. Whether the ways it describes to rip off shit are legal or illegal is irrelevant. The dictionary of law is written by the bosses of order. Our moral dictionary says no hesitating from each other. To steal from a brother or sister is evil. To not steal from the institutions that are pillars of the pig empire is equally immoral. Community within our nation, chaos in theirs. That is the message of survive. We cannot survive without learning to fight, and that is their lesson in the second section, fight. Separates revolutionaries from outlaws. The purpose of part 2 is not to fuck the system, but to destroy it. The weapons are carefully chosen. They are homemade, in that they are designed for use in our unique electrical jungle. Here, the uptown reviewer will find ample proof of our violent nature. But again, the dictionary of law fails us. Murder in a uniform is heroic. In a costume, it is a crime. False advertisement wins awards. Forgers end up in jail. Inflated prices guarantee large profit, while shoplifters are punished. Politicians conspire to create police riots, and the victims are convicted in the courts. Check out January 6th for reference on that one. Students are gunned down and then indicted by suburban grand juries as troublemakers. Check out the modern BLM and what happened there. Because again, Trump pardoned all of his Jan 6ers. What happened to the people of BLM that got arrested? Well, that was up to us to free, because fuck Biden, right? He ain't going to free them. Hell, he promised to get rid of all college debt. And after he left office, still not keeping those promises, huh, Democrats? Too bad. It'd be handy if I had somebody I could say, yeah, join them and fight with them and they'll free us. For the record, on a ticket, vote Democrat above Republican. But, y'all, I can't open... I made a promise when I started this channel. I might be mistaken. I might be wrong. I'm not going to fucking lie to you if I can help it. And if I am proven wrong, I will correct it. Like I said, in sense of correcting, Biden did pardon a lot of student debt, just not all of it. And again, the Democrats are trying. I mean, after they murdered a man in cold blood on the streets of Minneapolis, shooting him in the back of the head and then loading his body down with with rounds and cheering, yeah, they promised that they're going to shut the government down again. Cool. You know what MAGA and all those cunts did when they didn't like the results of an election? They turned over a Capitol and threatened to hang everybody. And then their evil king got power and has started thus erasing all those moments of history. I remember, I was at that live stream in Hannah's chat. I watched as they did what they did. You can't tell me I got lying eyes, bitch. You can tell me I got a lot wrong with my head. My eyes don't fucking lie. But again, the dictionary of law fails us. Slumlords allow rats to maim children and then complain of violence in the streets. Everything is topsy-turvy. If we internalize the language and imagery of the pigs, we will forever be fucked. Let me illustrate the point America was built on, the slaughter of people. That is its history. And if you're uncomfortable with that, let me say that again, but this time without his words but mine. America was built on the corpses of indigenous people. Our Thanksgiving tradition, a holiday that we celebrate every year, yeah, it was the Ochotne. They heard gunfire, came running thinking the pilgrims were in danger, to find they had already finished a feast. The pilgrims then pointed at all the food that was left, bones and gristle, and said, well, join us, neighbors, for a feast. The Ochotne left and hunted deer. And tale as old as time. We tell it every year at Thanksgiving, right? Like I said. And then, our country, God-fearing, strong men, good generals, good heroes, decided to not free every man while fighting for freedom for mankind. That they fought for the freedom of white, let me say it properly, white, southern, and northern landowners, and that was it. Women, get fucked. Black men, get fucked. Black women especially. I ain't gonna say that joke, because it ain't a fucking joke. This country was built on shit. And if you think that it was built for some grand, glorious thing, son, you've been listening to the pigs too much. Listen to the people around you. Go talk to an indigenous man. Go talk to a lady. Go talk to a black man. Don't listen to the cops when they tell you what this country was made for, because it was made for them, not for you and me. These top story years we watched and demonstrate. Okay. America was built on the slaughter of people. That is its history. For years we watched movie after movie that demonstrated the white man's benevolence. Jimmy Stewart, the epitome of fairness, puts his army around Coches and tells how the Indians and the whites can live in peace if only both sides will be reasonable. Reasonable and rational, the 3 R's imperialists always teach the natives. You will find good grazing land on the other side of the mountain, drawls the public relations man. Take your people and go in peace, Coches, as well as millions of youngsters in the balcony of learning were being dealt off the bottom of the deck. The Indians should have offed Jimmy Stewart in every picture, and we should have cheered ourselves hoarse. Until we understand the nature of industrial violence and how it manipulates values and morals to maintain power of the few, we will forever be imprisoned in the caves of ignorance. When we conclude that the bank robbers, rather than the bankers, should be the trustees of the universities, then we will begin to think clearly. When we see the Army Mathematicians Research and Development Center and the Bank of America as cesspools of violence, filling the minds of our young with hatred, turning one against another, then we will begin to think revolutionarily. Be clever, using Section 2, clever as a snake. Dig the spirit of struggle. Don't get hung up on the sacrifice trip. Revolution is not about suicide. It is about life. With your fingers probe the holiness of your body and see that it is meant to live. Your body is just one in a mass of cuddly humanity. Become an internationalist and learn to respect all life. Make war on machines, and in particular the sterile machines of corporate death and the robots that guard them. The duty of a revolutionary is to make love, and that means staying alive and free. That doesn't allow for cop-outs. Smoking dope and hanging up Shay's picture is no more a commitment than drinking milk and collecting postage stamps. A revolution is a consciousness, is an empty pie without a revolution. In the distribution of power, we are not interested in the greening of America, except for the grass that will cover its grave. Section 3, Liberate, concerns itself with efforts to free stuff, or at least make it cheap. In 4 cities, sort of a quickie U.S. and on no dollars a day, it begins to scratch the potential for a national effort in this area. Since we are a nation, I'm not going to use that word because that's a slur today. Since we are a nation of Romani, dope on how to move around and dig in anywhere is always needed. Together we can expand this section. It is far from complete, as is the entire project. Incomplete chapters on how to identify police agents, steal a car, run a daycare center, conduct your own trial, organize a GI coffee house, start a rock and roll band, and make neat clothes are scattered all over the floor of the cell. The book, as it now stands, was complete in the late summer of 1970. For 3 months, manuscripts made the rounds of every major publisher. In all, over 30 rejections occurred before the decision to publish the book ourselves was made, or rather made for us. Everyone agreed the book would be a commercial success. I kept trying to read commercial as communical. My bad. Hello, Mr. Mountain EXE. Hope you're doing well today. But even greed had its limits, and the IRS and FBI following the manuscript with their little jive rap had a telling effect. 30 yeses became 30 noes after thinking it over. Liberals, who supposedly led the fight against censorship, talked of how the book will end free speech. For the record, you should not share CSAM. If you don't know what CSAM is, look it the fuck up. You should not share CSAM. You should not share ladies' or gentlemen's pictures without their permission, especially if they're in the nude. You should not call people slurs, because these are tools of the oppressor made to determine and to belittle your fellows. Now, if you're taking those words back, fine, but if you ain't in that group, much like I just did with the Romani people, shut the fuck up with the slur words. It's not fucking cool. Same reason I won't use, say, the N slur or any of the other slurs, because that ain't me. But if you are that, and you want to use it to take it back, hell yeah, brother, I'll be standing right beside you, rah-rah and yawn. These are the free speech that I would seek to curtail. Outside of that, All free speech is free speech, friends. Share what you like, post what you like. Long as it's you and not, hurting somebody else.
Fine-tune your design.
Back to Abbie's words. Finally, the day we were bringing the proofs to the printer, Grove consented to act as distributor. To pull off a total solo trip, including distribution, would have been neat, but such an effort would be doomed from the start. We had tried it before and blew it. In fact, if anyone is interested in 4,000 1969 Yippee calendars, they've got a deal. Even with a distributor joining the fight, the battle will only begin when the books come off the press. There's a saying that freedom of the press belongs to those who own the one. In past eras, this was probably the case, but now, high-speed methods of typesetting, offset printing, and host the other developments have made substantial reductions in printing costs. Literally anyone is free to print their own works, and even the most oppressive societies imaginable, you can get away with some form of private publishing. Because America allows this, does not make it democracy. Jefferson envisioned does not make it the democracy Jefferson envisioned. Repressive tolerance is a real phenomenon. To talk of true friend, let's go back to that one again. Jefferson, he just referenced it with some level of benevolence. Jefferson raped his slaves. Jefferson had roughly 40 children that I know of from the history books that were children of rape, where he raped his slaves. Fuck Jefferson. I don't care what he envisioned for America, because fuck him. He was a piece of shit and should not be remembered as anything more than a disgusting rapist who raped his slaves. Again, y'all, there are some things that I am very passionate and strong about. I don't think we should hold monsters up because they did a cool thing once for themselves. But, outside of my tangent, or at least that segment of the population that might participate in such a dialogue, freedom of the press belongs to those that own the distribution system. Perhaps that has always been the case, but in a mass society where nearly everyone is instantaneously plugged into a variety of national communication systems, widespread dissemination of the information is the crux of the matter. To make the claim that the right to print your own book means freedom of the press is to completely misunderstand the nature of a mass society. It is like making the claim that anyone with a push cart can challenge Safeway supermarkets, or that any child can grow up to be president. State legislators, librarians, PTA members, FBI agents, churchgoers, and parents are a veritable legion of decency and other already is on the march. To get the book to you might be the biggest challenge we face. The next few months should prove to be really exciting. Just one moment, we'll be right back to the program, but I need to grab Shifu as he needs backup on the couch and under covers. What's a Shifu, you ask? Give me a moment. Come here, buddy. Hubba! This is a Shifu, and he is overweight because he gets most of my rations and not me. He is a good boy, and he is very cold, so he's going back under the blankets. Come here, boy. Okay, I'm all finished the introduction, go to the bathroom, leave you all here with them for a minute while I go to the bathroom and possibly clean up whatever Shifu might have just left me in the bathroom. But before that, we got that much of the introduction left. We're going to finish the introduction today. Obviously, such a project as Steal This Book could not have been carried out alone. Isaac Haber shared the vision from the beginning. He did months of valuable research and contributed many of the survival techniques. Karl Raymer and Gus Redenbach of the New York Law Commune guided the book through its many stages. Anna Kaufman-Moon did most of all the photographs. The cartoonists who have made contributions include Skip Williamson and Gilbert Sheldon. Tom Forcade and the UPS patiently did the editing. Bert Cohen of Concert Hall did the book's graphic design. Amber John Wilcox set the type. Anita Hoffman and Lynn Borman helped me rewrite a number of sections. There are others who participated in the testing of many of the techniques demonstrated in the following pages, and for obvious reasons have to remain anonymous. There were perhaps over 50 brothers and sisters who played particularly vital roles in the grand conspiracy. Some of the many others are listed on the following page. We hope to keep the information up to date. If you have comments, lawsuits, suggestions, or death threats, please send them to, this is out of date, but we're going to read it anyway. Dear Abbie, P.O. Box 213, Copper Station, New York, New York, 1003. That's 10003. Many of the tips might not work in your area. Some might be obsolete by the time you get to try them out. And many addresses and phone numbers might be changed. If the reader becomes a participating researcher, then we will have achieved our purpose. Watch for special edition called Steal the White House, complete with blueprints of underground passages, methods, and jamming of the communication network, and a detailed map of the celebrated room where, according to Tricia Nixon, Daddy loves to listen to Montanavi records. Turn up the air conditioner full blast, sit by the fireplace, and gaze out the window to the Washington Monument to meditate on those difficult problems that face the people of this world. December 1970, Cook County Jail, Chicago. You notice he drew the line at saying that he was going to kill the president. You're not legally allowed to say you're going to kill the president outside of saying that it's illegal to say you want to kill the president. I am not saying I want to kill the president of the United States. I am saying that if Donald J. Trump were to mysteriously die, I'll bake you a cake. I'm kidding. Please do not try to kill the president. Free speech is the right to shout theater in a crowded fire. A yippee proverb. Now, we will continue tomorrow, possibly, if I'm here tomorrow and not dead, by reading Aiding and Abetting. I can't read upside down. But for now, I'm about to go check on the bathroom and all that. Let me check in. Okay. I got another message held for review. Y'all, if you type in a slur, it's going to go into review. That's the only thing I have turned on here that'll say, hey, put it in review. So just don't slur, and yeah, I'll read what you write. I'll happily argue and interact with people, but this is not a purely debate forum, and I am not a debater. I am not a master debater by any standards. For that, I would suggest going to any of the other long channels. But I'll be back 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. I just got to grab a couple things and deal with draining something real quick. Love my coffee, though. I forgot without my mic in, y'all probably couldn't hear that delicious sip. Either way, gonna move that too so the dogs don't get it. Be good. Be right back, and we'll crochet when I get back. And I'll be right back, just in case she left me a little spring roll. It's 10 degrees, 11 to sub-zero.
California from the Mexican land, fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brothers and so many others, but I ain't marching anymore. For I marched to the battles of the German trench in a war that was bound to end all wars. Oh, I must have killed 1 million men, and now they want me back again, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old to lead us to the wars, always the young to fall. Now look how we fought with a saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I flew the final mission in the Japanese sky, set off the mighty mushroom roar. When I saw the cities burning, I knew that I was learning that I ain't marching anymore. Now the labor leaders screaming when they close the missile plant. United Fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or call it treason, call it love or call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore. Castro down. And when it came my time to serve, I knew better death than red. But when I got to my old draft board, buddy, this is what I said. Sarge, I'm only 18, I got a ruptured spleen and always carry a purse. I've got eyes like a bat and my feet are flat and my asthma's getting. Yes, think of my career, my sweetheart dear, my poor old invalid aunt. Besides, I ain't no fool, I'm going to school and I'm working in a defense plant. I got a dislocated disc and a racked up back. I'm allergic to flowers and bugs. And when the bombshell hits, I get epileptic fits and I'm addicted to 1,000.
Golden 10 minutes, and I don't want to make them wait any longer than I got to.
I can hardly reach my knees. And at the end of
Hello, and I am back. Oh, I hope I kept it within limits. Good news is the boys did not leave me any presents. Bad news is their bowls were empty, so I had to refill the water. Always make sure if it's going to be cold to leave your pipes dripping just a little bit. Okay, now, we were working, baby, can I have this please? Can I have this please, baby? Thank you, baby. We're working on this, and this will eventually be a big-ass quilt. For now, it's half, and it's basically done with the first layer. For the next layer, what I'm going to add to the top of this is going to be a series of small squares. Now, we've already started on some of those yesterday. This is one of them. Together, they interlock into something prettier. But I got that one. And I got a few other dozen squares, but I'm trying to make the ones on this particular one out of thread. And since it helps my anger while I'm playing the League of Legends, I crochet while I play, in between loads. You know, when you die, you spend your items on, well, you spend your gold on items, and then you got like a few seconds usually, if you're quick to, like I am, to just nab, 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 go. And so I nab, 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 go, and then get one of these and start crocheting them. Now, see, the difficulty is when I set them down, they tend to spin and whatnot, but if you look at it, I did a granny square, and now I am just slowly putting a border on that granny square. That way, when I sew it to the big quilt back there, it basically starts to work. Now, part of the design that I'm working on, and part of the reason I'm working on this particular type of design, is because it will be both breathable, like if you're wearing it, it'll let the heat come off of you, but it'll also hold some of it in, sort of like a spiderweb design. And it'll always provide great insulation as an underlayer to anything, because it'll allow that heat to go to the next layer, which will start to warm that next layer as well. Something I've learned when I worked on the boat and we had to work in freezing conditions for hours at a time without breaks sometimes, is just that. Layering is your friend. Currently I'm wearing 2 layers of socks, a pair of pants, a pair of leggings, my underwear, and then I've got a long sleeve shirt, a muscle shirt, and we call them wife beaters because, you know, most of the time when you see fellows running around in just a muscle shirt, they beat their wives. I don't make the rules, it's what it was called. Don't be mad at me, fuck off. Either way. And then I have on my lovely purple shirt that I eventually will dye or do something fun with. And then I have on my jacket, and then I have on my robe. Layers are your friend, especially in the cold. But for what I'm doing here, after I did the initial granny square, which I'll get another one going made out of green soon, I just do the outside layer by doing single crochets around. What is a single crochet, you ask? This, if I can do it correctly, is a single crochet. You take your line, you take your hook, you go through the next, grab your line with the hook, pull it through, and then that's a stitch. You then pull it through that stitch to form your single crochet. Alone, it does absolutely nothing, much like us. Alone, nothing. It's stupid. It's just a fucking knot. Together, though, we make a tapestry. Or as a Native American once said, if I still have my pieces to do this, they used arrows. I was going to use crochet hooks, but damn it, this is why we need to come up with scripts and all that first. One hook alone, easy to bend, easy to break. Several hooks together, strong. One arrow, weak. Several arrows, strong. Or, as Phil Ox talks about, links in a chain. The wolf is as strong as the pack. The pack is only as strong as the wolf. Now, when you get to an edge, like where you're going to turn, what you're going to want to do is add a single stitch in before you do your next single stitch, or before you do your next single chain. Basically, you do it, do one link through, and that adds basically a space for you to crochet into, and it allows you to make a corner. You double that corner in, and then you do the next link. And you'll basically, that's how it turns. And you'll basically do that several more times. Now that's if you're making something like this. To make something like that, what you want to do is to make something like this or something bigger, and then just continuously put a border on it until that border grows. Fundamentals of crocheting. I still can't read a pattern for shit. I've tried it. I fail every fucking time. I think it's just a break in my brain. I can do it if you show me how, but if you don't show me, you might as well just expect it to be done crazy. I call it wild magic. Same way that I learned how to dye hair, same way that I learned how to cook. It wasn't from a cookbook, folks. I learned from watching people and then from applying different techniques. Also, I quit smoking cigarettes when I got my teeth replaced. So, because I didn't want to yellow these, but when I got my teeth replaced, I stopped smoking cigarettes. Best choice I ever made in my life, because now, and even though I really want to go back to smoking sometimes when I read the news, but it does make it to where I can take a soup or a food item, take a clean spoon, dip it in, taste it, throw the spoon away until I go to wash it, and get a new spoon for the next taste, but then you go, that whole chef shit that I always saw in cartoons and never understood why, yeah, they have taste buds. Most of what I do, unfortunately, feels like wild magic. And I try not to be too mean to people, but at the same time, I'm old, Yusuke. I'm old now. I don't want to be an asshole, but at the same time, I think that standing by and letting your friends be like, you know, Nazis aren't so bad. Oh, this is... I find that letting my friends support bad programs that would inevitably get them killed is not being a good friend. With that being said, I also think that whatever you do on Facebook, you should do for fun, because truth be told, you can collaborate. Lord knows, I put in my thing on every volunteer site I found on there that isn't directly tied to a church and been like, hey, if you can sign a letter to the government saying that I worked so many hours, I'll happily work for you for free, because that's kind of what I do. I like working. I'm not crazy, trust me. I think everybody enjoys working, but we enjoy working for ourselves. We enjoy finding tasks and missions to do that we enjoy. I love being a cook. Short order cook, fry cook, chef, whatever the fuck you want to call me, whatever the fuck I'm doing, I'm happy to do it, because to me, it's the right thing to do. Everyone wants to eat, and I have a talent at making food that tastes yummy or spicy. And I'll make it flavored to any taste the person wants. But at the same time, I've always liked being able to make things better than what they were, especially when I found them. And if that's not you, that's cool too. That's not what I'm here to say. If you just want to play cards and hang out and not do shit but what you got to do, bud, you should be free to do that. When I don't think it's an outrageous thought to say free everything from our society, because in a real society, I would think people would like that. But then again, maybe I'm brain broken, because one of the most generous, kindest, sweetest people I know in my life hoards books like a crazy person to me sometimes, and as much as I love him, it's like he would rather his books get untouched and left in a box forever than to just give them to a library so that everyone can enjoy. And I've never gotten a straight answer on that one, but I've never just asked it straight either of why though. I mean, truth be told, if I could find a depot to just go to and give video games to and take video games from, I would join them because I like video games. I like gaming. Minecraft is like one of my all-time favorites, even though I can't afford to play it anymore. But it's like, I like games. I like shit like that because in Minecraft I can build anything. Gravity doesn't matter, and when my character dies, oh well. Restart. There's no actual labor, no blood in it. That being said, I also really have been enjoying when not playing it on here because the technology frustrates me more than the game, but I love Assassin's Creed. I love playing, like, the latest one I've been trying to play has been Valhalla. And I like it too. I like video games that are violent and fun too. I just also, forgive me, it's part of being born in a capitalist hellscape of a society. While I'm playing my games and enjoying myself, I constantly am worried about, but what am I not doing? What am I not achieving correctly? Alice, be nice and be quiet, please. I said, it's just, we all dream of better. But if we're not willing to fight for it, that's all it's ever going to be is dreams. And trust me, this ain't much of a fight. I'm hardly the voice of a generation or anything of that nature. But for what it's worth, I'm very uncomfortable here with y'all. I'm very, yeah, this is going to get me burned. This is going to get tons of clips made. I'm going to get made fun of if I even get noticed. But I still got to do it. Because if I don't, who the fuck is? I mean, hell, it's just, we do what we do because we ain't got a choice. Yeah. Well, I'm good with those. I really want to get to making clothes and stuff, but I just... Well, give me a second. I'll show you exactly what happened last time I tried to make clothes. I was making a poncho. Give me a moment, because I got to take my glasses off, because otherwise they'll snag the poncho. But I was trying to make a poncho. And I made a nightie. I feel like that one lady from the Maniac song. Because it's like, without all the layers on, it wouldn't even sit this well. It would like be hanging off of one shoulder. But yeah. That's what happens when I try to make clothing. I basically end up making a blanket with a hole in it. But hey, if we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we laugh at? And I think the pattern's badass. I just think I need to add some more yarn around the collar here. That way it doesn't stretch when I put it on. And I need to, like, possibly connect this side somehow. But again, it's... Once I work it out, I'll start giving them away. Till I get it worked out. Yeah. Sorry, no one else got to see that. I made my shot and I was proud of it. It went right into the bin. Not the trash bin either. The bin of lost projects. But yeah, y'all. That's basically where we're going to cut this one off now for the moment. And check to make sure because YouTube's being an ass. That's what I hate about free anything. It's like, oh, you can... do it for free. We're just going to make it damn near unusable unless you pay us. And then every time you log on, we're going to remind you of the good times and be like, please come back. Oh, can I have it for free? Do you want me back? No, we want your money, but we're going to pretend like we like you as a person. It's like how everyone was so disappointed by Stranger Things, and yet they're still talking about it, still dragging it around, still making it. Okay, I've got no way to cut this. So, new plan. Who needs cutting things? I got teeth. And if you didn't have teeth, you can pull twine apart typically. But now you'd basically use that to work it in. Now, for the more complicated part, starting the granny square. For that, I take my finger, put the loop around it, turn it on itself, and then I cut my tongue with that thread. Maybe don't try to do it like I just did for funsies. But you get that hooked, you get your little knot going like that. Tighten it down real good. This tail you can basically ignore for the moment. But this doesn't count. Do not count this. This effectively does not exist. Now, loop over. 1. That's 1. 2. 3. And this sort of just depends on how big you want the center of your granny square to be, I found. I typically go 4, sometimes more when I'm doing these, but then you'll go back to the non-existent one, put it through that very, very first one. Now it gets to exist. Much like how in America, minorities get to exist so long as they benefit the capitalist overlords. The minute they don't get to exist, much like the first stitch in this design. Now, this part you gotta be careful with because this part is always a bitch. At least with twine. With yarn, it ain't so bad. But you don't want that hole to close because that hole is what you're gonna be working in. But you're gonna start with 3. Dolly Parton, 9 to 5. Now you're gonna grab that tail, that way you can hide it really easy. And you're gonna go 1, 2, and 3. Thank you again to Patty, because she's the one that taught me this. Now, you've got 1 strand. That's 1. You loop, and this is going to be a triple crochet, or a half double crochet, I should say. You go 1, and with 2 loops on the line, and still holding on to that first design, you go through the first 2, flip over, don't flip it, but you know, flip it over onto it, put over 1 more, and there you go. Now you have 2. Do that again. This time a little faster. Now you've got 3, and we're ready to start the proper granny square. Chain 2, that's 1, 2, and then do that entire process 3 more times. Fun fact, in the modern day, you cannot actually make 9 to 5 and make a living. You have to at a minimum work 9 to about 12. Well, 9 to about 12 midnight, 9 to about 6 p.m. And you need to be making a minimum of $30 an hour if you work in America to make an effective living. Sorry, Dolly, I love your songs, but they're outdated now, dear. I didn't mean to stop. Thank you. Oh, it's playing another ad. God, YouTube, I love that shit, friend. Why is it that, like, don't get me wrong, if I'm watching FD Signify or some really cool cat like that and they're doing some cool shit on there, I get it. It's an hour-long video. I'm going to get a couple ads. But come on, it's a 3-minute song and then you're going to pack a 5-minute ad in after the 3-minute song? At least the ads aren't as bad as they could be. The first time I got ads back, it was like YouTube was really trying hard to get me back on because it was all Republican, all Trump proof, like, come buy my Trump coin bullshit. And I was just getting clinically depressed every day. Now it's mostly movie ads and stupid shit I don't care about, but at least it's not like offensive.
Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke.
Okay, I take that back. That's kind of offensive. Because if you're an elderly dementia patient at risk of a stroke or otherwise, you should be getting your medication for fucking free. Don't try appa-lappa-ta-ta. Instead, just fucking give the people the medication they need, you jackasses. They're gonna die without it. As I said, to me, it should be we buy fun things. If you want something special, you should buy it. But To live? No, friend, you should just be able to live. Now, you take 2, and what I would do, and what I typically do, is just hook in to that one to link it, to lock it, then that one and that one to basically really secure it. Chumbawamba, Bella Ciao. Now, this is called a slip stitch because you don't add anything to it, you're just stitching it. Take it, pull it through, pull it through. Take it, pull it through, pull it through. And this anchors the whole design together and gives it a certain little bit more stability. Now, check your design, because if you've done it right, it'll make a teeny tiny little cross sort of thing. Center, 3, 3, 3, 3. Now, you're going to do that again, but a little bit different this time. Because from that corner, you're going to go through that stitch there, through that empty spot there, and you're going to stitch 1, 2, and 3. Now from there, you're going to take and do the exact same thing you did before to make 2 more double crochets, or half double crochets. I don't know if I'm getting that right or not. Try it. If a half double crochet works, cool. If a triple crochet works, cool. Whatever really works. Am I right, folks? Now, we're going to put that corner on, because that's basically what we're doing here, is building a corner. To make a corner, as opposed to just stitching around, you're going to put 2 stitches in. Now, if you're doing a stitch in between the 2, which is what you're about to see, you got to, like, single stitch. That way it ties and pulls together real tight and pretty. But here's where we go. Boop. And it's always important to remember, whether you treble crochet or double crochet, the thing is to make sure you do the same. It's more about keeping it consistent rather than fighting it. This one is Song of the United Front, English version. Gitchan is the one who released it. Credit to the proper artist. And with that, making sure we got our numbers right. And you'll notice something about this design. All of these stitches basically float until the round's completed, and then it locks them in place. And you can continue this forever. This can go until I run out of yarn. But basically I'm making the patches, and I like to make them a little bit different each time. Now we stitch 1, and we do it again, because this is all corners right now. Just oops, all corners. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. See how it's starting to come together a little bit at a time? Now we're going to double stitch, or single, single, and then do it again to make the other corner here. And we're basically building our square out. Again, much thanks to Patty, who taught me how to do this when we were both stuck in Job Corps, Earl C. Clemens, Kentucky. If you remember Earl C. Clemens, Kentucky Job Corps, I'm sorry. Gods, that was so long ago. And yeah, it was terrible there too. I remember Canty. Basically, it was the first time he had ever encountered homosexuals in his life. So when he caught 2 of the lovers making love in their room, he threatened to remove all of our hot water for the summer. And almost, well, for the winter. And well, almost did. Job Corps was really my first example of, yeah, we're all the same in the end, friends. The system does not like, nor does it care about you at all. But I do. Your comrades do. Because at the end of the day, if you're working with me, I know your name. We're friends. Maybe not on here specifically. It's hard to keep track of all the people on the internet. But as far as like IRL, sitting beside each other, working together, yeah, I'll remember you. I always remember my coworkers. Whether I like them or not, I tend to remember them. Okay, the 2, and then we go back to the trees. I actually stayed in the 3 dorm when I was in Earl C. Thought I was going to be a medical professional. I did. All they taught me how to do was the office administration paperwork. And even though I graduated, fourth in the whole time there, as far as like score-wise, yeah, as soon as I left, I realized what good that Job Corps certificate was for. It was good to get laughed at, and that was the first time I'd ever had an adult laugh at me in my face. Like, literally, got laughed at when I presented my degree, and, oh, nah, we're good, man. We don't need nobody to steal the patient's medication or to mess up our filing systems. And I was like, oh, that's rude and mean. I'm good at filing. Well, do you have any other internships or reports? No, because while I was at Job Corps, some kid got killed in the gym, and my last day of volunteer work, I missed out because the place was closed. Well, the entire Job Corps was shut down, and I wasn't allowed to finish my internship. Quite depressing. Even more so because at the time I was young and stupid, and I blamed the kid who got murdered. Well, it probably wasn't murder. He might have just been overworked, overstimulated, or whatever, and he had a heart attack on the treadmill. But I blamed him for the fact that my internship failed when it was really just the Earl C. forced us all to mourn and didn't give us the free pass to do the mourning. You know? I'm just saying, friends, the system will constantly lie to you. But when someone tells you, don't blame me, blame this group, take it as a warning sign that, yeah, you should probably definitely blame the person. Sort of like if you're a white American who wasn't around for the George Floyd murder, you might think that those uppity black folks until you actually look into what's going on around us. And you realize they got the raw deal from the beginning and they've been being hunted ever since then. That our police force was originally a slave catching battalion, and their job has not changed much in those past years, considering that there is not a single national park, there is not a single public park that would run if they didn't force the inmates to clean it, force the inmates to keep up with it, and force the inmates to do all the work for it. Because they don't want to pay people to take care of stuff, folks. They want slaves. Don't join them in that. Fight. I think you'd probably be better off with knitting with chopsticks, just because for crochet to work properly, or at least for me to do it, I need a hook. Now that hook can be metallic, that hook can be a carved chopstick, but you would need to have a hook to grab the yarn with. See, knitting is the one where you string it over and you interlock them. I don't know how to knit. The main reason I took a fancy to crochet was because I can buy a little bitty thing from the Michaels, and then I can load one thread onto that itty bitty thing, and it'll make me a scarf or a sock or whatever attachment I need to put on the thing, but it'll crank it out for me. And you can buy little books on how to crank out sock monkeys, sweaters, all sorts of fun stuff. I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying you can't do this without these and this. It takes humans to do crocheting still. It might not always be like that. You know, the AI bros are trying to replace all humanity as quickly as they can. But at the moment, still, it's still human. Now here's the big fun part. We do that same thing, but this time we're actually getting into the square of it now. So, we look. Phil Ox, The Broadside Spanish Civil War Song. First tape on that. Released by Phil Ox Topic. Like I said, y'all, we built this place. Me, you, the working class Americans. The rich cunts didn't have a fucking hand in it, and any little bit they did, they demanded payment for. That's what I'm saying. When your rich friends try to tell you otherwise, those ain't your friends, and they ain't rich either. Anytime someone wants to blame the unhoused or blame someone at risk, just look at them and go, yeah, but who put them there? Because at the end of the day, you're 2 checks from homelessness. You're not a check from a jet. And that's just the way America's been built. For capitalism to succeed, it requires an underclass. It requires the downtrodden. It requires, as Sweeney Todd put it, a man with his foot in your back. But doesn't have to. Oh, I messed that up. And see, this is the other thing about crochet. When you mess up, gently and carefully pull it on out. Also, if the kids get on your nerves while you're making it and you get up real quick to go stop whatever they're getting into, yeah, you might unravel your entire design real quick. Don't ask me how I know that one. Don't ask me how I know that one. That was an unpleasant day. Cats were trying to fight. I had to go break up the fight. Got my hand all scratched up. Yeah. And the piece that I had already about finished and I was getting ready to put a border on was already, it just into the effervescent air. But that's the other thing about crochet. It helps you control your anger, because I like sports like crochet where you put it's you against you, friend. Now remember, if you're on an edge, 2. If you're in the crux of it, single. That way, when you're done, it all pulls together tight, and you end up with something like this, but this is made out of actual yarn. But that's basically what we do. That went right into my back. This is what I get for trying to look cool. Okay. Now, once it gets livable outside, I'll probably do a few more live streams where I actually do wood carving too. Because like I said, y'all, I like passion projects like this. The wooden rocks I pick up as I walk home, and I carve little wood spirits and other things into them. And then when I get enough together, like I got in a Chili's cup over there, I basically paint them and then start giving them out. If people like them, I give them out. If people don't, I leave them in little places for the fae folk or anyone that wants them. Double to take the corner. But again, another part of it is partially because I was raised as a military brat in a family of people that very divided. We stood together, but we were all divided in our actual policies and thoughts. And every time I ever tried to push any topic, it was always, well, that's how it's always been. I hate that response. It's a stupid fucking response. That's how it's always been is the response of somebody who is placated by the system so they know they're okay, or they've been beaten so far down that they believe they deserve to suffer. And that's sad. I like to think my opponents are people that have been, so downtrodden that, or I like to think that my opponents are those that have been, up there. The ones that, like the person, the other live stream that I will make public soon, but like that person, the other, well, I can give you $1,000 right now. Cool, are you gonna? No? Okay then, so you're just flexing? Awesome job. But it's like, that makes it easier to make fun of you, friend. Because, 1, I don't believe you. But 2, it's like, cool, so you're comfortable and you think everyone else deserves to suffer for your comfort? Similar to, I was living with a buddy of mine, Tony, right after getting off the Steel City Marine boat and still trying to figure out how to make a living and a life for myself. And it was winter up in Illinois. And I was living with him and his family and all that. And his kid had brought a friend over to spend the night or something. And I went to bed early. I often go to bed early as I'm up at 3 a.m. Some of the nightmares I have and things that I don't really feel like talking about that go on in my head when I sleep make it to where I pass out when I'm tired enough to pass out. And about when my body is almost ready to rest, I get woken up by unspeakable things. So I typically go to bed a bit early. When I woke up, kid was just on the other couch, and it was like that meme of your friends when your friend forgets to give you blankets or anything. He's got a fucking pizza box over him. So I grabbed my blanket and I threw it to him. Later on, he just had left it underneath or out his side because I hadn't gone up and have a blanket. And that's when I started to learn, okay, I need to get better at communicating, because if we have a failure to communicate, that's a failure on my part. That's me not conveying my point clearly enough. Which is why I try my best now, and in the future going forward, I try to always make my communications clear. To be a piece of shit is a choice. Friends, you could take that badge off today. You could take that badge off tomorrow. You don't have to be a piece of shit. You don't have to choose to be a Nazi sympathizer or a Nazi. My black friends, they can't choose not to be black. My Hispanic friends, they can't choose not to be Hispanic. That's a color. That's a donation. That's a denotion that our country has put on them, and they can't get rid of it. You can. That's why I don't care for fascists. That's why most cops to me are to be distrusted upon sight. Because that to me tells me somebody who's willing to betray their brothers and sisters for sake of a badge and a make-believe of safety. And I can't abide it. I can't. I want to. It'd be far more beneficial to me if I could. Far less headaches would be given if I could. But I just can't. Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, cool. Do you think that's a downside, Ron Lasagna? Because yeah, trans rights are human rights. But beyond that, medical rights are human rights. Don't have a car. Haven't owned a car since I was about 22, I want to say. And no, I don't have an equal on my car because that's just pompous fucking signaling. I don't signal for shit. Most people think I'm as dumb a hillbilly as you. And what's so wrong with that? I want much higher taxes for the cunts who can afford it. You want to know when most of you old cunts think the golden age of America was? The 1940s. Now, if you're not a racist and you don't just want to go back to separate but equal, then what you want is a time period when we had well-funded libraries, good public discourse, community college that was fucking free, and you could actually go to a community college. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, Ron Lasagna? Because, yeah, I have legs, Ron Lasagna, and I walk a lot. It's how I work in my workouts. Because a fascist worked out today in a nice, warm, well-ventilated gym. Did you work out, fat ass? I work out every day, because one day I will be fighting these fascists. And I want fitted Nazi scalps by the end of the day. Thank you, whoever gets that joke. That was a reference to Inglourious Bastards. But my point is this. I work out every day because we gotta work out. Because a healthy body means a healthy mind. But beyond that, if you want the golden age of America that all you boomers talk about, you know at that time the rich were taxed. If you made over at that time, if you made over $200,000, you were taxed 90% of your income after that. So companies were incentivized to pay their workers better, to provide better. This was the time when a company outing, no matter where you were at, whether you were a factory worker or a fast food worker, once a year, your company would go to Six Flags, name your theme park, name your fun thing, and have team building exercises. Want to know why? Because if they did not spend that money, the government took that money. And rich people are very, very, very greedy by nature. They'll give you money rather than have it taken from them. So again, you want the bullshit you constantly talk about? Maybe get the fucking Trump cock out your mouth and fucking work for it. Maybe understand what you're bitching about. Because again, silly hillbillies like this are the problem that I have in the world. And good job for you, legendary. I'm not knocking you for doing hard work. If you're a hard worker, congratulations. You are one of my people. And again, I don't like leaving carbon footprints, but beyond that, it's just, if I don't need it, if I'm not a weak-ass beta bitch, I can make the hike. Hell, when I go to get food from the communal food bank that I do take advantage of when I can because I am eligible for those benefits and I will volunteer at as soon as I'm able, yeah, I walk the 10 miles there and then the 10 miles back. That's why I got such a fine ass. But again, I guess you just wouldn't know about that because some things are just too tough for you right-wingers. It's cool. And again, the legendary, you ain't got to flex on me, brother. I'm proud of you for what you do. It's, hell, y'all, workers of the world should unite. It's not capitalists of the world unite. It's workers of the world unite. Because guess what? If you hate people taking shortcuts, what's a bigger shortcut than taking your family's company, making a fuck ton of money from that, and hiring people at a slave's wage so you never have to pay them fairly? To me, that's a parasite. I mean, y'all want to bitch about fucking immigrants. Do you know how much money we pay Walmart? On its own. How much money we pay Walmart every year? Here, I got the music's playing on a computer. Let's check that number out right quick. Let's see if we can get an actual, like, data from the Googles. How many Walmart, make sure I spelled right, employees are on welfare? Look at that. Bing already knew what the fuck I wanted. They've been listening to my ass. Let's see. And again, just to let you see what I'm seeing. Walmart employs a significant number of employees who rely on welfare programs, particularly Medicaid, SNAP, and food stamps. According to a 2020 report, there are approximately 14,541 SNAP recipients and 10,350 Medicaid employees tied to Walmart as of February 2020. Now again, I ain't got no problem with the worker at Walmart wanting to get a fucking meal or wanting to get medical care. That is not what this is about. My bitch is this. How much? Oh, fuck, again. Why are we pulling numbers out our ass when I can just ask? What is the CEO of Walmart worth? $5.41 million. So again, why am I paying for Walmart's fucking food stamps when this bitch is making $541 million? Well, Ron Lasagna, what's the answer to that one? Rather than being pissed off at someone trying to come over here and do what they can to survive and do what they can for their family, how about you get more pissed off about these ugly cunts? How about you get more pissed off at people that are actually taking advantage of your dumb ass? Huh? Or is that too hard? It's much easier to blame the poor because they can't fight back, huh, cunt? Like I said. That's good, legendary. I disagree, but then again, maybe I'm just kinkier than you. Like I said, it's simple to me, y'all. To me, it's so simple, it makes me call these people stupid because it is that simple. The Walmart CEO and all the ones down below him are taking advantage of you and me, but you, because who's paying that welfare out? Who's paying that? Is it Walmart CEO? He's paying 1/100th of what that is, because that's what we tax in. If we get a flat tax where we all pay the same, then you pay the same amount of taxes as someone who makes 100,000 times more than you an hour. You think that's fair? I mean, I'm not good at math, friend, but even that math, I can tell that ain't fair. So again, none? Legendary, I'm very happy for you, so do I. That's how you're watching me now. But again, I ask, well, which one would you be angrier at? The person coming over here with nothing but gumption, nothing but the fucking clothes on their back and a dream to do better, or this fat bitch who's never had to work a day in their life and got handed a company? Who would you be more angry at? Because I'm more angry at the cunt who took advantage of a system and will constantly continue to take advantage of the system more than someone who got over here best way they could and will continue to put into that system. Because again, remember, by our current taxes, if you're an immigrant and you work here, regardless, legal, illegal, regardless, you pay into the system. But as an illegal, you don't get access to SNAP food stamps, you don't get access to housing, you don't get access to any of the fucking programs we offer, what few there are, and yet you're still paying for them. So again, you seem to get it, the legendary, and I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you in any of these things. I'm mostly talking about Ron Lasagna there. I think that you're an idiot, or I think that you are very, very, very adorable in your thoughts. Because carbonic taxes should be a consent program. Bud? No. Because I can promise you right now, all the rich cunts out there, the richest of the rich, yeah, do you think Elon Musk needs any of these programs? Do you think any of these super rich assholes would ever pay a single fucking penny if it was just, oh, you don't have to worry about it, just pay? I think for the working class people, the U.S. government should just straight up, like any other goddamn bill, say, hey, we did your tally, pay us blank, thank you. Or, hey, we did your tally, we can't charge you anything, go away now. I don't think it should be, well, how much do you owe me, friend? Better get it right or I'm gonna audit and arrest you. Too many things in this program or in this country are do it right or I'll arrest you. There's no room for error, which also makes crazy fucks like me not get into company building because why the fuck would I build a company? I'm not going to cover the taxes, and I hate money. Truth be told, again, anyone want to try to take me up on that offer can. Brewster's Millions my ass. I won't be a Hassan Piker because I don't need people. I have what I need around me for the most part, and I'll run on a shoestring budget. I don't want fancy one-piece carpets or anything else. Also, that ain't meant to be a stray shot at Hassan. He's done this job for years and years and years, and a lot of his money probably goes into his programs. Plus, I know for a fact from talking to people that he does give to causes. He just does it the way you should give to causes, anonymously. But nah, for sake of the fucking content generator here, yeah, I got a Cash App linked in the bio bullshit. I check it every day. If I get money on my Cash App, first thing I'm going to do today is go see what I can get for heaters for people that aren't needing electricity, like kerosene heaters, shit like that. Second step will be checking on who needs help for other things. You give me money, it immediately goes back into my community. You give a rich man money, it immediately goes to the Bahamas, or to their second wife, or to their child bride, or to their Epstein Island visit. Not a single Batman in the bunch in the entire fucking time we've been here. Not a single Iron Man either, so fuck Elon Musk and his stupid ass bullshit dreams. And by that, y'all, I'm not even kidding there. It's, you hear all this bullshit, talk to any goddamn person who loves comic books, and, well, man, if I made $1 billion, I'd be Batman. Yeah, and that's why you're never going to make $1 billion, friend. It's not a system made for good people to rise in. Do you think there were good Nazis? Do you think anyone in fascism that makes it to the topmost echelon is good? It's a program designed to weed out people who would care about their neighbors, friends, and comrades, and designed to make sure you keep your boot on your neighbor's neck so they aren't the next one to rise up. I'm about rising ships, friend. I ain't about fucking bringing people down. But by all means, if you want to be that way, that's fine. Money is important, but it's not money that is important. It is what the money provides. Do I think we should go back to the barter system? I think it was an outdated system. That's why we moved away from it, with hookah shells and other things. I think we need to stop thinking in the past and start thinking in the future. Because again, yeah, money's necessary. My question is, how much do you need before you feel secure enough to give to others? And if that answer is never, well, then you need to reevaluate what you consider money to be. Because to me, money's protection. I really, if I'm thinking real, I need about, I'd say $5,000 a year to run on. Now, that's because I have my housing provided by the people around me, and I work with people. Give me a second. Gotta get the phone hooked up because we've been going long enough, the battery's dying. But I'm secure enough where I'm at. And if the United States would let me, I could just vanish into a national park and become an Eldritch Horror style again. Because I do know how to hunt and fish and kill and eat. There we go. Now I gotta hold the phone because it's charging. And we were at 4%. But I do know how to hunt and fish. I know how to gut a kill. I know how to get clean meat out of a kill. And, god damn it. There we go. Now it's working. I think. Let me check. Okay, it's charging, which is what I need it to do. Like I said, y'all, sorry. Still learning the ropes of this shit. But I can vanish into a national park and live free. Sadly, try it. You'll get arrested. If you try to run away from America and live off the grid and survive, America will drag you back. And if, like me, you just tell them the whole time, man, I just want fucking freedom. Leave me alone. Just let me go. Let me free. Why? They'll put you in an asylum. Go ahead. Latoya693, I do not have a Snapchat, sadly. I have a Facebook, I have a Discord, I have a YouTube, and I play League of Legends for fun. All of it's under Travis Croy. If you look up Travis Croy and see this ugly mug, you found me. I don't hide. That's my government name. I'm just me. But again, I personally think we do better together. And I personally think that if we lived in a world where you could just fuck off and go into nature and survive, that we could do that. But again, in our country, homelessness is outlawed. If I take my tiny little one-person tent and just my stuff to carry around my back, Cash App's in the description. Same thing, I think it's Travis Croy 13 because my favorite number is 13. But it's like, oh, maybe not the description of the video, the description of the whole channel. It's one of the links. But it's like, y'all, it's just simply put. Don't make homelessness illegal. And maybe we could discuss it further as far as getting to just vanish off the grid and survive the way ye old ancestors did. I'm not reading, so I don't need the glasses. But if we could do that, but we can't. Because in this country, if I take my single-person tent and my hiking pack and I go hike and just get off the road to a safe and logical distance to where I'm not blocking traffic, not impeding nobody, set my tent up, put my cook fire out, make my beans, have a decent meal, read my book, and sit down for an evening night, I'll wake up that night with the police trouncing my tent, pepper spraying me, and dragging me the fuck off to jail for trespassing. Or destroying all my stuff. If I look well enough, if I'm well put together, they'll take all my shit, give me a fine, and leave me there. Again, if you cannot just freely go wherever the fuck you want without hurting nobody and survive, what are we even doing? How can you say, oh, this is how it's has to be? Because it's not. It's a trick, y'all. They got you. Don't let them get you. Pay attention. I'm hoping that as we read through Abbie's book, y'all can pick up on some more of his tricks. Again, a lot of it's out of date, but the principle, the heart, the core of it is true. And that's just the thing, y'all. I thank you, Brandon Garcia. I haven't checked out McDodge. I might check him out sometime. Like I said, I'm still learning all this. The main channels I check out are like Hassan. I really like Squid Tips. I watch Crash Course about every day because I find that Hank Green is the one good capitalist. Every time I say kill all capitalists, I always kind of whisper, except one. Because I like Hank. He does good work. Hell, if I ever get tagged by Hank, I'll you'll see this old man die of a fucking excited heart attack. Cue the whole millennial excited noises. But it's like, y'all, it's because out of all of them, he's the one that actually said, hey, I made enough money. And he started a company entirely based along, you buy it and I give one of it away. That's beautiful, man. That I can get behind. I might not like his methods because I think capitalism is a predatory system, but at least I can get behind what he's doing, working within what it is to make it better. But yeah, y'all, it's just, I'll be back again tomorrow, and I'll be back again tomorrow, and tomorrow. until I'm dead. Or until we get a better union, a better America for all of us. But I mean, y'all, what would I be doing in Nazi Germany? What I'm doing right now. Fuck ICE, fuck JD Vance, fuck this entire administration, and understand, you cunts, when you do die, we will be celebrating. I can't say many things that I want to say about this administration because TOS and legal matters, but yeah, you're allowed to cheer when bad people die. I laughed when Charlie Glug Glug Kirk got capped. Mostly because man talked shit his entire life and died with shit on his breath. His last words were, "What about inner city violence?" when asked about the shooting situation in America, which, by the way, I was keeping up with it through 2024, mostly, really closely, and through all of 2022 to 2024, we did not go one full 7-day week without a school shooting. That's unacceptable. To quote the Lemon Fellow from Adventure Time, unacceptable. Because that, y'all, when I was a kid, we used to always say, hey, say whatever the fuck you want. The worst that's going to happen is you get your shit chapped. And after getting my shit rocked quite a few times, I can't get the upper out. But after getting my shit rocked quite a few times, yeah, I still said what the fuck I wanted. It's why when half these idiots go from, I can't defeat him with an intelligent conversation, so I'm gonna beat his ass, I'll laugh at you while you try. I will laugh. And if you manage to hurt me enough to trigger me fighting back, I'll fight back, but not well, because what's the point? Yay, I get to live another day in hell. Because it is hell, folks. Watching good people die, watching great people starve and die, while the worst, absolute worst that our society has to offer, like Trump, Pam Bondi, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, watching the absolute shit of the world get to prance about in front of us. Nicki Minaj with a child molester fucking husband and a child molester brother up there defending the world's fucking... Again, these words lose meaning because nobody fucking cares. We all pretend that we care, but when push comes to shove, how many of you voted for a fucking pedophile knowing what he was? And you'll go ahead, pop off in the comments, he's not a pedophile, he's a pedophile. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. He fucked kids. If I try to hit on somebody who's 18, that's fucked up, regardless of if it's legal or not. For reference, I'm 37. Yeah, I realize it's a hard 37, but again, it's why I wouldn't try to date one, not interested in dating. But if I was, I wouldn't try to date anyone under 25, I'd say. Because to me, under 25, that would just be fucking weird. I'm just wanting to get my wet, you know? But again, oh, another one got held for review. Again, y'all, if you try to call me a slur, any slur, it's gonna block it. Because I don't like people slurring. Call me a piece of shit. Call me an asshole. Call me a commie lib cuck. Go ahead. Doesn't fucking matter. Not a lib. That kind of frustrates me when I keep getting called a fucking lib. Not a lib. I'm an anarchist. If you really push me hard, I'd prefer to be called a communist. And, I mean, absolute worst, you want to put it on my name, fine. Call me a Democrat. But, again, get it right. Communist first, well, anarchist first, communist second, and Democrat in the last resort. But I'm not a fucking lib, and I'm definitely not a fucking Republican. I think the glorious old Union needs to be dragged the fuck down and burnt. Because any country on stolen land built by slavers, Chumbawamba on the Day the Nazi Died is a great song to end on, I think. And we've been going for 2 hours, so why not? We will see y'all tomorrow, assuming the freeze out don't kill us. And I will try to do some posting of like food that I make, fun shit like that. Be judgmental if you want. At this point, I'm starting to understand that's just part of being online. All the toxic vermin come out to fuck with you. But understand, if you're looking for a friend, I am a friend. I believe in the greater works of all of us together. And I think that we can do better together. And every day that you stand against this horrible shit, even just in words, start with words. Good, cheap, unneeded words. Because we all got eyes. We can all see what's going on. We don't need another post about how they murdered an innocent man. But again, good innocent words to start. And it'll be a starting point. And then build. Do more. Keep adding. Eventually, hell, hopefully soon as this goddamn cold snap breaks, I plan on starting to volunteer. I'm not going to say where because I've been brigaded too many times already, but again, I'm going to start volunteering at various organizations that would have me as a volunteer. Because get angry and then get useful. Do something to make the world better. And that can't be done with just a gun. That can't be done with violence. It needs to be done through kindness. But at the end of the day, if it's a Nazi you're facing off against, crack that goddamn coconut, eh? Because fuck them. But if it's your neighbor, no, talk to him. Hell, I got a neighbor 2 doors over, had a Trump flag all the way through the first administration, all the way through the Biden administration. I started blasting fucking anti-bullshit music and trying to talk to him. Fine, he still won't fucking talk to me. He still says I'm a fucking commie lib cuck, but that flag ain't up no more, friend. He took that flag down. Now he's just flying the American flag. And I don't care for that flag either, but, you know, at least it's a good flag we can all fly. That's it. It's me, friends. And if you're here for tomorrow, I can't promise it'll be as early. Might be earlier, might be later. But I'm going to do about 3 of these, and I'm going to start putting them out for real, for real. I guess we'll open up with the one with Corp from last week before this. And if you want to clip me and make a laughing stock of me, cool. I don't care. You can't fucking bleed a turnip. Outside of that, keep laughing, keep living, stay warm, kill Nazis, fight on, die well if we must die, friends. And if we must die, die where they can see us. Be well, stay well. Try real hard not to die. Love you. Resist and survive, friends. Gonna do the pokey button thing now. Bye for now.